Lost in the Script, episode 68. Black and who? Y'all know that meant black and brown, right?
I think they did, obviously.
And we on time.
We early.
And took a nap.
Yeah.
I took a nap.
We early. You're supposed to be live at 2:15. I'm 2:13.
Shout out to George,
Yeah,
who decided to spend this afternoon with us and not the snow bunnies. Good to see you, George.
Improvement, George. Improvement. He said, check your Facebook message. Yeah, man. I don't be on Facebook at all. So yeah, I check it, man. I check it. Another week. I want to say I'm about to say another week in the garbage.
Yeah, pretty much. This country's gone to shit.
Another week. Hold on.
And I can't believe it's already August. So.
You could, I'm doing something. You could just,
Travis is a bum.
Okay.
You're a hoodlum.
Travis is a bum. All right, man. Let's go ahead and get to this before y'all get into an argument.
You know what?
Oh, here it go.
You look like radio.
Oh, shit. All right, man. All right. Let's go ahead and get to the first story we're going to start with. Oh. All right.
Appreciate the support, George.
Appreciate the support, man. Tyga apologizes for I Caramba music video. He also removed the video from YouTube. And George, if I'm not mistaken, he's from Cali, ain't he?
Yep.
I want you to respond on how the Latinos.
And I be going in on George because he's from California. I tell him to stay in their area they decided to live in.
You need to give us a breakdown on how the hoods over there is. He's in the best hoodlum in the best hoodlum you ever witnessed. But yeah, Tyga, some controversy started earlier this week. It was a big controversy. He released a music video called "I Caramba," where he was
Ay caramba,
as he was dressing up as the stereotypes, as they say, of the Spanish, or what they call them, Latino, Mexican Americans. That's particularly what they said. Where he was dressing up like Mexican Americans in a stereotypical way, and how it was a racist and offensive video. He went on Power 106, if I'm not mistaken, and he did a video. Then he did an interview with a man named American CHOLO, where he went back and forth and apologized for it. He did an interview and all that other stuff. What do you say?
You coined the phrase. I got these cheeseburgers, man.
But yeah, so he apologized and all this other stuff. But then right after he apologized, information was released about the man he did an interview with, Cholo, where he said some things about he was accused, at least, of saying things about black people that would be considered just as, if not more, offensive. So when this happens, it led to, him getting some smoke over there in Cali. And look, I'm one of those people, I understand when the politics of a certain area is a little bit different. There's a certain history over there of, they call it race wars, but division amongst the Mexicans and the blacks. So when this leaked video came out of him saying, N-word and ghetto coon, street politics started leaking into it.
Oh, this is the same thing. You can reference this to that thing in New York with Dykeman.
Oh yeah.
During the riots, the Black Lives Matter riots,
protect our neighborhood and all that.
And then the two hoods had to come in together because the black people was threatening to go and attack Dykeman.
Well, how it started was, during the protest, the Dykeman residents were saying, we're going to protect our neighborhood. And that quickly turned into protect the women and children. It was like, what? Where is coming from?
Well, we watch other places too, and they, during the Black Lives Matter.
And they said protect the women.
They, like Chicago, they instantly referenced the women.
Yeah.
Tyga
apologized for music video I Caramba after...
Which lets you know that women are spoils of war.
Exactly.
So they know it.
That's why I'm saying, when I see certain stuff on the internet said by the women of our community, it's kind of how the game go. Whoever's in power have access to the women. That's throughout history, throughout any culture. whoever has the power has access to all the women.
But hold on, but you know what? Tyga not even Black American.
No, his father, I believe, is
Jamaican, and his mother is Korean.
Vietnamese. Yeah, one of those. So Tyga's apologizing for the music video Caramba after receiving backlash for promoting Mexican stereotypes. Speaking with Power 106 Los Angeles American CHOLO podcaster Gil, who has been critical of the video, Tyga said he doesn't want to hurt anyone in the video. Gil pointed out that his visual has been accusing of depicting racist caricatures as opens with Tyga playing the characters of fat suit eating chips and guacamole. So he went on to apologize and all this stuff, and I'm going to show the clip now.
I'm Mexican, so I can't say like what Mexicans are offended by and not. You know what I'm saying? But I know like I had no intentions on offending anybody. Like you know what I mean? Right. So for one, like I want to apologize to like the Mexican
what? I don't hear nothing.
Community and like my fans that are Mexican. Like I have a lot of Latin fans.
Yeah, I got it.
I definitely didn't have any intentions to like offend anybody. That's why I want people to know. And
so he basically said he didn't have no intention to offend anyone, and he apologizes. And somehow, some way, and not as in a negative thing, somehow Tariq Nasheed got brought up into this.
But also, some Mexicans are now Hispanic.
That's what we were talking about earlier amongst ourselves. I remember a time.
I know they are Hispanic because Hispaniola.
Yeah,
but I
Latino.
Okay, yeah, Mexicans are Hispanic, but the other groups consider themselves Latino.
And growing up, I remember there was a certain situation where Latinos didn't associate with Mexicans.
Exactly.
When we say Puerto Ricans, Dominicans, and those Latino countries, they didn't.
You mistake an El Salvadorian for a Mexican. They go, I know Mexican.
Look, I remember I was in the 7th grade. There was a Mexican girl and a Puerto Rican girl who were friends. I know this is real. I actually saw this. They were friends. This is 7th grade. They were friends, whatever. And then I remember in the 9th grade, those same girls, in that 7th grade classroom, a black girl walked up to them and said, Mexicans, da-da-da-da. She said something about Mexicans. Not nothing disrespectful. She was just calling them both Mexicans. But she was, I think it was Mexican Heritage Month or something.
Yeah.
And the Puerto Rican girl said, I'm not no damn dirty Mexican. And the girl sitting next to her was like, she actually was Mexican. They weren't friends after that. I was like,
well, would they be?
I mean, no, obviously. But that was when I realized there was a difference between what we call Latino and what we call Mexican.
Yeah.
It's not the same thing. That's why there was a lot of uproar. Obviously, black people, we didn't know about it. We didn't care. This ain't nothing to do with us. But Selena, when Jennifer Lopez played Selena.
Which is that same scenario.
It was a big deal because that was a Mexican American girl being played by a Puerto Rican. Or what is she?
Jennifer Lopez is Puerto Rican.
Yeah, and it was like they was like, this is not, you shouldn't do this. This is wrong. She's Mexican. So
yeah,
there's a rivalry there. Even in boxing, Mexicans and Puerto Rican is a rivalry there. When they fight, it's a big deal. That's why when Shakur Stevenson, when he fought that Mexican guy, he pointed out that his father was Puerto Rican.
Now he Puerto Rican. He gonna stay Puerto Rican. I won't remember when he did that.
He gonna let it slide?
Nope. He now forever gonna be Puerto Rican to me.
Why I gotta be like that?
Nope. That's how the game
goes. The man
go.
can't represent both his lineages.
No.
Shout out to Mike.
One or the other.
Shout out to Mike Baggs right here. I'm using this clip that he cut right here.
I definitely didn't have any.
You can't hear anything?
I can hear.
Intentions to like offend anybody. That's why I want people to know. And if people are offended, I really apologize. That's why I really wanted to sit with you, because I'm like, it's important to me, especially like my Mexican fan base. Like, I do a show, 50% of the crowd in California or on the West Coast is Mexican, and those are my fans. So if anything, I'm hurt that if they're hurt, you know what I'm saying? Yes. So like,
well, the great thing that came out of this, Tyga, is the conversation.
So the guy right here,
50% of your fans are Mexican, and we know it's a whole bunch of white people there too.
He said in California.
Still,
yeah.
If 50% is if his fans in California is Mexican, what's the other 50? Because we know it's a lot of white people there. Are you saying black people only like?
Are white people still the majority of California?
I believe so.
I don't think they are no more. I think it's
even if they not, we know that they're mainly the ones that's going.
Yeah.
So what are black people? How many black people?
Yeah, I guess it depends on what a show is. If it's in North Cal, I don't know if that's the black. I think it's Southern Cal mainly the black people.
I don't know. George, you said
George,
nothing.
you from Cali. Is Southern California where mainly you get the black people, or is that Northern California? I would think it's Southern California.
Yeah, I think black people are in Southern California.
I don't know, because they kind of pushing niggas out of their neighborhoods anyway, so.
No matter where they at.
But this dude right here, somehow this ties in with another person. If I'm not mistaken, this is the guy. There was a Mexican guy a few weeks ago that made a video directed towards Tariq Nasheed. I don't know, this is not the dude who did this. Where he was talking about keeping Mexicans out of his mouth and all this stuff. And a lot of the people that were against Tariq was like, why he not responding to this dude? Why he not responding to this dude? But then this dude came up and somebody showed a video of him saying certain things that they deem racist. So let me go ahead and go to it. Now, No Jumper, he was the one who originally put the video out, if I'm not mistaken, unless somebody else found it.
Black guy.
So Tariq Nasheed, what?
You got comments?
Oh, hold on. Let me go to the comments for a second.
Juice man.
He said, blacks losing ground in the game with a gang bang to them. Bart Simpson phrase. You're just checking in, gents. See y'all tomorrow. What up, Juice Man Davis? What up? Brian Lanes, what's up, man? North Cal, especially Oakland. Okay. So wait, black people are mainly in Northern California?
Yep.
Wow.
I guess.
How you doing, Regina? Full of whites and Mexicans. Southern Cal, like Los Angeles, losing ground. Less and less of us. Northern Cal is full of Asians. Oh yeah, that's where
we had an
interaction with those groups. Somehow, little champ, we somehow bumped heads with the Northern Cal Asian. No, they was from
they was from
Sacramento.
Oh yeah,
they was from Sacramento. Is that Northern?
That's the capital, ain't it?
Yeah. I don't know I don't know what the cities is in Cali. I just know the name of them. But yeah, Sacramento Asian Crips. I went back and forth with a few of them in the comment section where they were talking crazy.
That's when they were going against Charleston White.
Yeah, when they said the N-word and they were mad with Charleston White.
And the blacks.
Yeah, the blacks over there with the Asian.
I have to call Negroes from California blacks. Like how white people black. They say it with such
disgust. They hate to even say the word.
I just hate to even call them black. He said, when I think of black.
But yeah. So Tariq had made a video saying Mexican, where he called, I guess he was talking to this guy here, where he referred to him as a Mexican because he was saying, now keep in mind.
Oh, George says Sacramento is Northern California.
Yep, see, that goes with it then. Thanks for the information there. So I'm going to show what he said here, and I'm going to explain it after. I'll just do that. Let me just, all right, here we go.
He's what he's got. He's the big black guy. He's got the big black guy syndrome, homeboy. So all I know is I got my platform, carnal. Use a fool, use a chump, and use a ghetto coon. With that, I'm out. When you guys were slaves, you guys would run to Latin countries, brother. But really, you're just a ghetto coon, brother. You're just a ghetto coon. A lot of the ghetto coons do that. They talk a good one. I mean, fuck them niggers.
All right.
Oh, when we were slaves, we would run to your country for what?
We run to there for help, I guess.
Now we're free. We run to your country to get cheap services from your women.
Damn, Travis.
I said it.
That was gruesome. Damn.
Mighty how things have changed.
But didn't the Seminole Indians, they went to Mexico, some of them?
Yes.
The black ones?
Yeah, they did. That's why black people love the song La Bamba.
Yeah, let me tell y'all something.
The song La Bamba
Travis came upon information a few months ago, like 5 months ago. You know that song from that movie, La Bamba? La Bamba.
It's a black
It's a black folklore song in Mexico.
Yep, that they created for the slaves that went there.
And the Mexicans now, you put that in them song, and it's now seen as Mexican culture.
That's why that song La Bamba, we be like, la 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 la.
Niggas love that
because
movie.
it was created by black Mexicans.
Yeah, that was funny when I realized.
And they come from the Americas.
Yeah, so it's like It's like a black Mexican version of a
like
old hymns. What they call it?
Wading in the water,
yeah,
or
those type of songs.
that type of song.
I was amazed when you brought that. I was like,
Yeah.
wow. But yeah, so basically, Tariq made a video responding to someone. I don't know if it's directly him, but he said it was directly him, American Cholo, where he called him a Mexican. Because this dude is very pro-America. He called himself a Mexican American.
Which most are.
And we're gonna show a video of him being pretty pro-America. We're gonna show a video of him being very pro-America. That's why Tariq called him a Mexican, because he's a Mexican who, if he has those views that we're gonna show you, means he's probably one of those people that believe, I don't want these illegal immigrants here, which is his right to have that opinion.
I believe I don't want these illegal immigrants here.
But he's a Mexican who's like cut the border off from Mexicans. Like he
should.
Whatever your political opinion, I'm just saying that's his beliefs. That's why Tariq called him a Mexican. Now I'm gonna show another video. All right, hold on. Now on Power 106 is a hip hop station. And I want to show this too. Because people was asking the question, how do you give a person who, I'm gonna show his views in a little bit. How do you let a person with these type of views have a platform to interview Tyga to talk about racial tension when he said things that are very derogatory and offensive
Towards black people.
Now look at this right here. This is a staff there that talk hip hop. Mexican, I believe she's black. Mexican. Nick Cannon, Mexican, white. Nick Cannon, black, Mexican. I don't know. Maybe Mexican as well. This is the talk hip hop.
You got the same thing going on with the Breakfast Club competition. Yeah. What is the name?
Breakfast Club.
Their competition. Ebro.
Oh, Ebro in the morning.
Ebro in the morning.
Well, isn't that Power 10? I
forgot Ebro something.
Ebro
he got two Jewish people on on a show with him about hip hop.
Hip hop. It was a black woman that used to be on the show.
It was a couple black women.
Scotty Bean?
Scotty Bean was on there.
Fine, that's a gorgeous woman. But Scotty
Bean,
even
though she's not black American,
they don't got nothing to do with that. They don't got nothing to
she
do
is
with
part of the diaspora.
Nothing. They ain't got nothing to do with nothing. Scotty, hey, I'm gonna leave that alone. But I believe not Foxy Brown. What's her name?
Who?
It was a woman named Foxy something, a black woman.
I think her name was just Foxy.
Yeah, I think she might have worked there as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's who works there to talk hip hop over there. They saying something in the comments. They're just laughing. I'm gonna show another thing right here. Now this is a new hire there.
That's right. We want to congratulate and welcome from East LA, Jackie Ramirez.
Yo, what's up, everybody? Yo, what's up? What's up? I'm Jackie Ramirez, everybody. I'm so excited to be here. I'm so freaking excited.
A new hire. Oh. All right. Now, these are the people they're hiring there, so it's no surprise that they didn't bother to look at the background of American Cholo.
All right, man. Now listen, this is us.
Now I'm going to show.
Don't mind the dog. It's just our security.
Yeah.
It's a real dog, not like Martin. The episode of Martin, we had that fake rock.
Yeah. Not going to show the response by American Cholo because I'm going to show this early because I want to show how he contradicts himself and he lies about his opinions on certain things. I do want to say this too. The black dude that did the interview here, he did everything but tell this dude he's right on everything that ever exists. I'm not going to say he was kissing his ass, but he was definitely doing everything to be agreeable in this interview. He didn't at all check none of the stuff he said.
Well, he wouldn't. See, that's what happens when you are with other races of people. You're in a position where you don't want to offend the person that you're dating or you're married to.
Now, he says he has a relationship with this dude over years ago. He's known him. So I'm like, well, that means you've known some of the stuff he said.
And he chose to ignore it.
And you brought none of it up. But let me
because
just
they like to have access.
The black dude's wife, if I'm not mistaken, is Hispanic or Mexican. I believe she is Mexican. And it's funny because the black dude has a line on the song where he said, these black bees was tripping, had to go get with Shakira. Yeah, he's one of those. So let me let this right here play and show you what his defense of the leak, not the leak, but the cut and edited video that was released by No Jumper.
A small clip. Go look at the whole video. Let's address the Ghetto Coon. All right,
Let's do it.
The Ghetto Coon was a video that I made back to Tariq Nasheed, because Tariq Nasheed made a video saying the Mexican, and he was talking about myself, and because I made a video I was pissed off, but when the paleteros were getting attacked, and I was like, where are the brothers at, where this and that, and he took offense to that. And you know what Tariq Nasheed did? He's a race baiter, right? He's a pimp. So he started talking all this shit, talking shit about Mexicans, talking shit, just what he does, right? So I got home, and I made a video, and it's specifically there, it says Tariq the Ghetto Coon Nasheed. The reason people say Coon, I've always thought Coon was an Uncle Tom.
Yeah.
All right? So that's off the bat.
Uncle Tom wasn't the bad guy. It was Sambo. Uncle Tom wasn't the person who sold people out.
That's why we calling that dude, the baseball player that looked like Pepto-Bismol.
Looked like Pepto-Bismol. What? Oh,
Sammy
Sosa.
Sammy Sosa. That's why he was called the Sambo.
He's a Sambo. Yeah.
Some people say, no, you're Uncle Tom. So one,
it's
I'm calling
betraying
him,
your race for another race.
I'm calling him Uncle Tom. The ghetto part, and I've had this conversation with many brothers.
And I heard what you said.
Yeah,
and say he live in the whitest town. I don't know Tariq Nasheed.
Yeah,
You feel me? I ain't never
don't
seen
even
his
know who that
content.
is.
No, but I'm saying you broke down before you said what you said. You said that you act like you down with the hood, but you live in the whitest part of California.
He's doing like he's steering the pot. And he's talking all this shit about black power and fuck Mexicans and fuck whites. It's all about the black people. But you're living in the white area, homeboy, because you don't got no repercussions for that kind of shit. So you're sitting you're sitting here saying shit like
he had to bring up white people too.
I did find it strange that he said you wanted people to say F Mexicans, F white people.
I would have thought he would have just kept the focus on.
You would agree with
that.
That
Lets you know that he is a patriot for America.
Exactly. You would think you would agree with the second part.
No, he don't.
that. Just like this motherfucker Flacco is sitting there saying shit like that, stirring shit up that don't know.
Flacco is another person who works at No Jump up there. He's not from California, so his
stance on stuff is different.
A little different. Now he also is a person who tries to be a Charlemagne DJ Academics type, where he talk a lot and say it to purposely stir a pot to bring more agitation to a situation. But it also, a lot of the stuff he say when it came to this topic was because he's not from there. So it's like, we ain't gonna say nothing about this. Now there was allegedly another clip that he had, that according to the black dude here, that he didn't release because it would have made things, possibly even worse. And I'm like, well, damn, why you don't mention that?
Don't soft shoe horn stuff. If you gonna talk about it, talk about it. Don't be. It's either black or white. It ain't no gray.
Yeah, let me just go and finish playing this. I'm like maybe a minute left.
The game, don't know the flavor, don't know what's behind this. So that's why I put the phrase ghetto. You want to be ghetto, but you fake as fuck. Coon, you and Uncle Tom, homie. That's all it was. But when you get the phrase and you wake up in the morning and I'm looking at this shit, homie, my fucking stomach was turning. I felt like shit, homie. I'm like, Jesus, I felt like, damn, I'm a fucking racist. That's kind of all the DMs, everybody talking shit, and like, I've been working at this for 4 to 5 years. You can go back through all my videos, homie. I'm always trying to bring the right conversation to the fucking table. But to me, it seems like the higher ups don't want to have that conversation. They want you and I at each other's throats still. But I'm done getting at each other's throats because there is no prosperity in that. I want to see your kids playing with my kids.
This is Martin Luther King. This is the issue we have with Martin Luther King.
I have a dream that little black boys and little...
That's what he wanted. He didn't want little black boys and little white girls. He wanted little him with a white girl. That's what he wanted.
That's an accusation you created. Please, I don't want to be associated with that comment. That is Travis' comment on his own.
Nigga.
Get all this gang shit out of there because we've been killing each other for 50 fucking years. Have our neighborhoods gotten bigger? They're getting smaller and smaller.
Well, whose community is getting smaller?
Black communities are. Oh, somebody left a comment.
What did it say?
Y'all mad? LOL. Hardly any blacks in Cali. Deal with it. I don't care.
We mad.
We mad because
hold on. Let me tell you this. I don't know if you know us or not. Maybe you ain't listen to us. You talking to the wrong people. The last thing we want to do is be around. You got it twisted. You need to stay about 5 more minutes and you're going to get what we really want. Just stay right there. You're going to see what we really want.
They're kicking us out. The rent's going up. All the while, we're at each other's necks. Nah, we got to step the game up. The Irish, they were gangbangers. The Jews, they were gangbangers. The Italians, they were gangbangers. Everybody here was a gang, but they evolved. We've been stuck in the streets because we can't communicate with one another. And what I'm trying to do is get that.
None of those groups stopped being gangbangers because they communicated with another group. They had access to what? What did they have access to, Mr. Cholo? They had access to whiteness. They were white. They just assimilated into white culture or whatever we call that culture.
The police force.
Exactly. Well, white thing, there's so many Irish police officers in certain states.
And a lot of those Hispanic police officers are just as racist towards black people. More. In California, more. Let me tell you something. More racist.
I've read the stories of the LAPD, how somebody gets killed or the cops shoot somebody, they'll take pictures of the dead body and put it in private chats with each other, laughing. They are completely desensitized to dead bodies. Over those police. LAPD has a name for it. We already know the name for LAPD. They are the worst. They have the worst reputation amongst any police in the country. Them and NYPD. I know there's bad ones all over the place, but those two are very well.
Top two.
Yeah.
Chicago too.
I'm saying, but when we talk about historically, those two right there, especially LAPD, it's documented how bad they are.
That communication going between us, between my homies, between all our homies, so we can actually step this shit up. AD?
I'm with that 100%. And that's real.
And I'm going to say that his mannerisms was Mexican. Like the little head bob he did when he was talking. I'm just saying. That's just me.
Listen, I'm going to wait.
All right. So the next thing we're going to talk about is, once again, he made the point that the video was taken out of context. Hold on. Maybe I should do this right here first. Any comments? Sacktown is Northern Cali. All right, you said that. Sacramento, San Francisco is full of Asians. Negro spiritual. There you go. Thank you. Mexicans stole oldies and zoot suits from black culture. Exactly. We gonna get to some of that stuff. Reading is fundamental, and the moot people who call folks Uncle Tom never bothered to read Uncle Tom's Cabin to include myself. Examination ? But I'm correcting. Yeah, correcting myself. Yeah, a lot of people call everybody coons or Uncle Tom's. It's the same thing as that. No, it's Sambo is the bad character. Well, we all did it. I did it too. Y'all a bunch of crying ass crack babies. 36K. Let
me tell you something. Your ass will get blocked. You about to get blocked right now. We don't have this on this type of this channel. You coming in here trying to start bullshit. Your ass is about to get blocked. I know you are Mexican coming in here trying to stir shit up. Your ass about to get up out of here.
This is some he's effing up because here in Chicago the Mexicans are the most racist of them all, even more than the white people they are in the trip. Yeah, let me tell you something. I found out how it's kind of obviously a big thing now. People recognize how segregated Chicago is. Like they are really.
You want to know why?
Why?
Because Chicago Negroes come from the fucking South. They come from Mississippi, Alabama. They go up to that creek. Yeah. That's why they still have their southernness to them.
Yeah. Blacks in Cali be allowing Mexicans to talk like this. Not just look, man. I'm one of those people where we all know. Sorry if some of y'all are in New York. New York is known for letting Hispanics or Latinos and all these other races
Asians
say nigga.
Too.
And Asians say nigga.
Some white people, they let them say it.
But I didn't realize how bad it was until like the last year or so in California.
Oh, I knew it was bad there. They're the same.
Well, you got the Asians, you got the all the different types of Asians. You got the Mexicans. You got they allow that stuff too.
You
and they allow
why?
them in the gangs.
You want to know why?
What?
Liberal states.
It's true.
I'm sure here in Seattle, it's the same thing here. It's black people here in Seattle that I seen that have white friends, and they let them say the N-word, and I had to turn around and go, what?
Yeah.
It's the same thing in these liberal states. This is what happened in the South, conservative states where black people are conservative. Black people are conservative.
Yeah.
I'm not talking about
politically. Yeah, I know.
We don't allow that shit.
I mean, if I want to be for nitpick, I can say there's definitely a pocket of black people who allow some shit down south too. Those dudes that run around with a Confederate flag, those type of dudes those type of blacks exist too. So I'm not going to just make it seem like it doesn't at all exist. It's a small pocket down south as well. But yeah, I didn't realize how it was over there in LA and California until the last couple of years or so. Yeah, the Mexican cuz they growing like a mug here. And that's why it's funny when he said our communities are getting smaller, because it's like, well, who's getting smaller?
Are you saying your community's getting smaller because they're starting to be mixed? There's a lot of half breeds going on.
I don't know if he's saying. I think he's saying like the black community is actually getting smaller. But I guess you have to go with your point if you're talking about the Mexicans. As far as we know, it's growing. The Mexican population is growing. Now maybe they're forcing them to move into different areas. I don't know. Or maybe they're making the Mexicans move into the black areas and making the black people lead the whole damn state altogether. Oh yeah. Yeah. MLK. Travis don't hate on them summer bunnies. Oh, so what, Mexican girls are summer bunnies?
Yeah, that's what George consider them as. George consider them as Caucasians.
It's George trippy. All right, let's get back to I want to show this now. Now, this dude right here, I know him from that song that released COVID time really have effed up how I'm looking at time now, because I want to say the song that he released about Tupac was 3 years old, but it might be 5 now, because I think he released that song before COVID, but I don't know. He made that song called Tupac. Remember that song, Tupac Must Die? Did you listen to it?
No.
Well, he told about it from the perspective of the dude who killed Tupac. The dude who Tupac beat up at the Las Vegas. He told it from that perspective of that dude, baby something. I forgot his name. So that's how I know him. So when I saw he was in this situation, I don't know if he had anything to do with his article or not. When I saw him, I immediately go, damn, niggas really tied in like that with Mexicans. I mean, when Charleston White almost got into it when he was saying, y'all letting these Asians, that's when we went back and forth. Y'all letting these Asians say nigga and join y'all gangs. What's going on?
But he could be,
What?
But you remember when he went to California and did a interview on the radio? He did an interview. And the black dudes, and these were older black dudes.
No, these weren't just black dudes. These were OGs.
Yeah, OGs. They tried to check him on the radio.
And he was like, you ain't going to check me. Charleston White, let me say this about Charleston White.
He got his ass out of the room, though.
He did. He did it smooth, though, because he did it like he was mad. Like, I'm leaving because I want to leave. But really, it was like, let me slide off before shit get too hot.
Yeah.
Charleston White says some extremely crazy stuff sometimes. But he also says some real stuff other times. Like now he on his snitching thing where every video I see now, clip, it's him admitting that he was snitching on somebody. Like he told a story, he said, I was out, some young kids outside my house listening to music. And it was like 10:30. And I just called the cops on them and one of them going to jail. I understand what the whole message he's trying to say is don't have no loyalty to the streets. Do whatever you need to do to stay out of jail and all this other stuff. Don't be in the streets in the first place.
Yeah.
But he say some crazy shit. And the other times he'll say some, when you talking about those Asians, he was saying some real shit. But and back to the point. So you see here, it says American CHOLO video took out of context to spread hate. To spread hate. Huh. Don't believe everything you see on the internet. During a recent appearance on Power 106 Studio, Tyga apologized to American CHOLO and a spokesman for the Latino community. Once again, I didn't know they were considered Latino. Y'all answer that question for me. Were Mexicans always considered Latino? Growing up, I knew that was a difference when somebody said it was Latino versus Mexican. Latino mean, like I said, Puerto Rican, Dominican, those South American or something. If they said it was Mexican, I understood where you were from. So y'all tell me if I'm tripping or if there's always been Mexicans included with Latino. But from the Caramba video, which some people thought was
Caramba.
Tyga clarified during the conversation that he wasn't intending to offend anyone with a new music video. Instead, he just wanted to make a funny video, So they went out and put this video right here. They had him defend it. After seeing the Cholo sniffing on social media shared by No Jumper, Power 106 removed the Tyga and Cholo interview from their platform without even checking the whole video. When watched the entire Cholo podcast, they discovered that the statement had been taken out of context. In a subsequent tweet, now they never said anything about the N-word, by the way. I watched the whole interview with him and the other guy. He never said anything about the N-word. He just, the ghetto coon part. He never said anything about his use of the N-word.
Because they feel they can say the N-word.
No, he didn't say nigga. He said the other one. And he was saying it in a certain way. You show the video, I'm going to show the video. In a subsequent tweet, he uploaded Cholo footage in which he essentially quoted his friend told him that he was released from prison by saying, when I saw him, I forgot what conversation we were heading, but he said, F them niggers. And I was like, what the F? I said, come on, homie, relax on that shit. F them niggas, he said, and hate in his eyes. You can see the prison time. He was fucking changed them. So he's saying that the reason why he used the N-word here is because he was talking about a conversation he had with a Mexican dude who got out of prison who was on F them black people.
That still don't mean you get to say the word, though.
Well, he was saying he was in the context of talking about the conversation.
You didn't have to use the word in order for you didn't have to use the word. You just said the N-word, right?
Well, let me say this. When we say N-word, the word N-word, that's the N-word that actually spelled out, has been said and seen more on television than the actual word nigger. Is nigger a word or a feeling? Because if I say, what up, my nigga, it's understood the context of I'm a black man, I'm saying this. So you stopping somebody from saying the N-word and making them say, you stopping somebody from saying nigger and making them say N-word, does that change anything? They're still saying the word.
It just seems like there's more respect when they don't actually say the word in there.
I understand, but I'm saying we allow them to say N-word. And it's like, nobody walk around and say,
well, damn, dude, we don't know. We're not going to know what they're talking about unless they say something. Now, hold on.
What you mean now don't say something? Why are you saying N-word?
What did they say then?
Why? The same reason why they don't say nigger. Why
say that derogatory word that's used towards black people?
Slur against black people.
Okay.
I'm saying we it's just crazy to me how we know that it's really a feeling behind the word more than the word. Words have no intent behind them. People give it intent.
Yeah.
That's just, yeah, I just got it out. So anyway, now I'm going to show. Now this video here was by, I think this is the same guy as earlier. I saw, yeah, Militant Mindset. Shout out to him. He been on a helmet. He got a whole bunch of videos of these Mexicans in Cali saying and doing crazy stuff. Now I'm going to show this video here. The first section I don't give a damn about. When he's talking about Jews, I don't care. It's mainly the second part where he say certain things.
They skip over it.
They skip over it. Well, no, we need what he said in the first part too. So he says some things, and yeah, I'm surprised they didn't bring it up in the interview. I'm gonna play it now.
Those two, they come from Israel. They get them into work. Yeah. Hey, but you notice one thing. It's funny how people always say, "Oh, don't take." Have you ever seen anybody trying to mock the Jews?
Nah.
They don't fuck with the Jews, fool. They do not even come close. Not even come close to it. Because why? Because the Jews run the industry. Yeah, they run the industry.
The show.
They got the money. They got the money.
The soldiers?
They got the money. And if you came out, imagine you did a sharmuta type. That's like puto in Hebrew, right? Sharmuta, and you have this big nosed Jew coming with
like for Halloween.
No, like for a video, a Tyga video.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
no. He ain't ready to touch that
day. That's just shut down. He's making an apology.
What I understand is those rules on both sides were set for a reason.
Yes.
The reason being is the less interaction we have with the blacks. This is coming from Raza. Now we're going to think gang affiliated. It's the Raza.
Raza or La Raza means the race. It's actually a big group in Chicago as well, where these Mexicans. I don't know. Is that just Mexicans that refer to themselves as La Raza? I wonder. Or is that also included with all quote unquote Latino people? Because you know there's black people in those countries as well, which is why I always felt like they weren't considered Latino, because they don't even point out the black people in Mexico. Like, how long did it take them to be put on the census?
Oh, the Afro-Mexicans?
They finally putting them on the census, maybe recently. But yeah.
Us not messing with the blacks is less of a chance of a war jumping off. It's going to help your kid. See, that's the problem I got mostly with all this crap.
Right.
Is our kids are learning all this crap, dude. Our kids are seeing
That's
this.
all you see on TV.
You know what I mean? Our kids are going to,
dude,
turn on the Xbox, BLM right there on the Xbox. What the hell? You know what I mean? Pay $60 to see BLM? I almost broke my damn TV.
So what do you think about the Black National Anthem? It's coming, homie. It's coming to a football game near you, people. They're gonna play it. They're gonna play it for people who don't know. They're gonna play it for the first week of every game on the NFL. They're gonna play it before the American National Anthem.
I think.
Oh, yeah.
I actually think I'm gonna boycott the first 7 games.
Well, I don't.
Now, whatever your feeling is about Black Lives Matter, we know there's some scamming ass niggas, but the fact that they were so passionate about not having a Black National Anthem played, they were willing to boycott the games.
The problem the thing obviously is y'all not from America, so what would it matter what anthems being played? But y'all would rather hear the white, let's just say the American.
They're patriots.
Exactly, they're patriots.
That's why they had that big American flag, which is why I can't lie. I see this, and I go, the Mexicans, we know that they fought to be able to put down on the census that they are white. Now, they say they were pressured into doing this because of all this other bullshit, but no, we know for a fact the history tells you that they fought to be considered white. They did not want to be considered black. But then the same dude would sit here and say, we need to do this, we need to do that. Black and brown bullshit. But this is how, playing the Black National Anthem, he didn't say about Black Lives Matter, he said the Black National Anthem. Make him want to boycott it. I mean, that's his opinion. He could have that, but I'm just saying.
I don't think I know I am. Yeah, they're going to sit there.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna have to boycott.
They're going to play the Black National Anthem. So I think next time.
But Africa don't have their own, or what?
Huh?
Africa doesn't have their own national anthem.
No, it's not.
Now listen to that. He tied black to African, but he don't want you to tie Mexican American to Mexico.
Africa don't have their own. We don't know what. First of all, Africa has a whole bunch of different countries.
Oh, we could use that talking point that the Africans use. Africa is 52 countries. It's not
Africa has a whole bunch of countries. So no, they don't have a
national anthem.
African national anthem. They have a. I ain't never heard a country having an anthem, but maybe they do.
Yeah.
But that's funny how he gonna reference
Africa, but
African American.
But yeah.
Not Africa.
No, it's not Africa. No, it's the Black. I'm telling you, it's gonna
Black National. So it's 2 different countries.
We're trying to move to we're trying to move to a different country. We're trying to move to the beautiful country of Black America, homeboy. That's what it's coming to.
We're changing the name of the United States.
Yeah, what are we going to
change America?
What is it going to call it?
Black Nations.
Black Nation. There you go.
Now,
there's one coming to a world near you.
Oh, Black Nation?
A Black Nation.
Oh, it's coming. But we're going to move on from that. Now, here he admits, this is him doing it again. He said, here he admits that his friend used the N-word constantly behind the scenes on his show. He fired him off a petty beef, but allowed him to stay and gave him a platform while he called blacks the N-word.
Would you or not say the N-word, ER, about black people?
Yes.
That will sit there
Watch the water, big black guy syndrome.
and act tough, be this big, tough guy, man. The BBG is what he's got. He's the big black guy, homie. He's got the big black guy syndrome, homeboy. I seen a few of those, carnal, and they told me to watch the water, homie.
Let's bring police brutality back. Now, I don't know the context of that, so...
I guess he feels like, they're so oppressed, but they don't get that police brutality like Black Americans
exactly.
do.
So when he was saying right there, I'm gonna show another video of a Mexican saying how our people are oppressed too.
Yeah.
And the other Mexican dude, when I showed that video, I actually agree with him that we should focus on our own, not be worried about other people's problems or other groups. But I'm gonna show this one now. All right.
You said it. Yeah. Well, okay, so what kind of guy says nigger to black people? What kind?
I've done it in their face.
You've done it? No. So it's okay to do it then, you're saying?
I didn't say that.
To all your black subscribers, it's okay to say nigger because you say it in their face.
I didn't say that.
You just said that. I done it in their face.
I never said because they're black, they're niggers.
It's okay.
I never said that.
He said, a few minutes later, American CHOLO mass slips due to him being very upset with Sonny. He himself is caught using the N-word with an ER at the end of a degrading manner.
If you would leave me the fuck alone, I could care less. But you always keep taking shots at me like I'm this nigga. I'm like, fool, look who you hanging with, carnal.
What did you just say?
Nigger?
Yeah, you did.
Oh, jeez.
You just said that word.
Yeah, I did, Sonny. I did. I said, you keep hanging with these guys and you keep taking shots at me. That's what I said. You got me. You got me. Anything else, Sonny?
I got what I wanted.
I
Sonny, like you say it, dude.
Taking shots at me like I'm this nigga. I'm like, fool, look who you hanging with, carnal.
So he's saying that he was taking shots at him.
Okay. I never said that.
Like he's another race. You treat me like a nigga by taking shots at me.
Yeah.
So he just used it in a racist manner.
Pretty much.
You treat me like a black person. You don't like me like you don't like black people. Oh, man. Now, I'm going to show this. A protest led today by black women at Power 106 calling out the hypocrisy at the LA Lakers OD, giving platform to podcaster American CHOLO as he has shown anti-black sentiments yet refused to address a sit-down with black community in LA. So you want to sit down with somebody that don't want to fuck with you?
That's what there's nothing to talk about.
It's nothing
What is there to talk about? There's no need to have a sit down.
Like, I love the fact
it's time for there to be a removal.
When people tell you who they are, let them
tell you who they are and then get their ass up out of here.
Yeah, thank you. No.
For things that are typically out of our control or we didn't do. So back to the Tariq, Tyga, Gil Tejada, fake American CHOLO guy. So he doesn't want to apologize. And what Tyga said, like a man, Tariq, the T's and the T's and the T's. So what he said was, hey, let's meet in the studio. I'll meet you in the studio. You can meet in my studio. I can meet at your studio. Did he do that? No. He declined the offer. He literally declined. And now what he's doing is running from show to show, from podcast to podcast, pretending that Tariq, and as we know, people are trying to make Tariq the leader of our grassroots movement. We are a people that are coalescing and coming together behind a bonded.
So as you can see, they're now saying they want to sit down. Now, one thing I didn't understand was who said protest led today by black women, but yet people said that it wasn't just black women there. So I found that kind of strange the way they put that out, but it doesn't matter. Regardless, as I said, do you really want to associate with someone and sit down with someone who's already giving you what you need to hear? No. There's nothing else to say. It is what it is. California is a sanctuary state. They letting all the Mexicans in there and giving them government assistance. Another thing, if y'all caught when he called Tariq ghetto coon, right? Now that's supposed to be a counter to Mexico. You
could have just said black coon.
Black. That's what I'm about to say.
I was thinking
he was
that.
tying ghetto-ness, ratchetness to blackness.
Yeah.
So when you say hood, when he said Tariq wanted to be hood, that means gang. That means ghetto.
Yeah.
So he was already. He already telling what he think. I wish I really say what I want to say here, but I don't want to make myself a target.
Mello,
man,
say what you got to say.
Say what you got to say, man. Mexicans have the highest birth rate.
I think Mello is a woman.
Huh?
I think Mello is a woman.
Oh, my apologies. I'm sorry. I didn't know. Mexicans have the highest birth rate. Yeah. That and they, not only do you have the ones coming through the border, you also have the ones here who are having children. That's what I'm watching is I should do a video showing y'all.
You've been attacked from all angles. You've been attacked at home and attacked at the border.
Hey, I don't know if y'all seen it yet. Look up a channel or a city council called Carpentersville. It's hilarious. It's just funny. I want y'all to see it because it's funny.
They don't fuck with Mexicans.
Yeah, the whole
it's white people.
It's a regular city council meetings, but it's like a TV show because it's so crazy. It's the wildest shit going on there. But yeah, but they are building a beautiful. They are building up beautifully here in Chicago, and all the stuff you hear about all the shootings are lies, and they have given the Hispanic community one up and is knocking ours down. Was it? I forgot what state it is. Where they realigned their voting maps?
That was Illinois.
That was Illinois, and they were giving the Hispanics and the blacks
also the Asians too, somewhere.
Yeah, the Hispanics and the blacks, it might have been Illinois. I feel like Florida might be one too. They were fighting over the voting maps to get the district redrawn, and the black people were like, we need this many districts, and the Mexicans like, we need this many. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, they gave the Mexicans the districts.
Yeah.
Well, they'll have more representation.
Yep. Because they want them to be the Democratic voting bloc.
When the Democrats, the reason why they're letting them come through that border so much is they thought the Mexicans would replace the blacks as their dominant voting bloc, but the Mexicans are voting Republican
because they understand where they come from. That you
stay with you stay with the country's rules and what it is, and
the values,
you assimilate
in the mission.
You know, which is crazy. Yeah, but yeah, that happens. Yeah, here in Chicago, that wasn't legit sound like an agent.
You talking about Charleston White? I said Charleston White was an agent before, so I agree with George.
Hey, maybe so. Yes. Here in the Midwest, I could say yes. So yeah, they saying it's not really Latino. They call them Mexican. I recall there was a distinguishing between Mexican and Latinos growing up too. I actually believe they got that money too. That $450,000 is what talking about. The liberals were talking about it. I have never heard of the Plus. I'm missing a little of the footage. I'm a little behind you, I think. Yeah, you may be. I was born in Harlem, raised in the Bronx. My friends never told me not to say nigga. Well, Mr. Rivera, exactly. And here's what I think that is. I think in states like New York and California, right? Particularly New York. So you got a lot of black people who are not from America, right?
That's your Jamaicans, your Trinidadians, all in that New York area.
So what happens
Northeast.
is they come from a country where
they don't even say the N-word.
So they come from a country where they're Trinidadian, they're Jamaican, they're Haitian. Like, that's their identity. So then they come to America and it's like, okay, I'm black now. And then that turns into, when you see black culture, you start using that term nigga, you start doing all this other stuff. So now the people who are also from Trinidad, who are also from Jamaica, who may not be black, it's like they're the same thing as me. Yeah, they can say it.
Well, they're immigrants. They have that immigrant bond too.
That's what I'm saying. Like, so a person from Puerto Rico who black, they see another Puerto Rican who's not black, but it's like, we're Puerto Rican. So yeah, they can say it.
No, they can't.
I'm not saying they can. I'm saying I think that's what happened. So a person like him, who said he was born in Harlem and raised in the Bronx, none of his friends, I would imagine black friends, never told him not to say it because they see it as...
Well, his black friends shouldn't have to tell him not to say it. If, you've been here in America, you should do some research and study the word nigga. And you would say, well, I shouldn't say that word because it belongs to this group of people here. They're not my lineage or my culture. So out of respect for those people, I'm not going to use that word.
Well, see, now this is me being a devil's advocate. I had an OG.
Well, you always have to
I had
be
an OG check me
advocate.
months ago in the account. He checked the shit out of me for being a devil's advocate. But we got to have a good discussion on this. Is it our fault for allowing we used to keep our language to ourselves. All our sayings, quote unquote slangs, we kept it to ourselves. Now because of hip hop, we put it on Front Street in front of everybody. So now when we look at mainstream pop culture,
our culture is pop culture.
I know, but we made it our culture because we let everything out the bag.
You have black people willingly giving it out.
Just making videos telling you what this word means. It's like, what are you doing?
There's a word that we use in North Carolina to talk to another black person. We haven't even said it before.
Because you use it when you're there. There used to be a time when
I think Baltimore uses it too.
Yeah, they do too. In DC.
In DC.
That's why a dude, when he heard you talking, he accused you. He thought you from DMV area because that Virginia, North Carolina
dialect.
That dialect is kind of similar. But yeah, I hear Mexicans and blacks been in a war in LA for the longest. I say if people want to be racist, let them be out there open so you know who they are and hate this racist bullshit, bro. Yeah, man, yeah. I believe they say the word nigga because they are trying to be cool like you beautiful black man everywhere around the world.
Thank you.
They're trying to be you. I agree. They're trying to be me, the black woman.
Thank you, sister, for referring to me as
Hey, Travis, we love compliments. Thank you very much. We love compliments. Thank you. But
as my dad would say, I guess they like what they see.
Yeah. But yeah, I do believe that like you said, the cool factor. who creates the cool? Who is the personification of the cool across the globe? So it's kind of hard for them not to emulate it because that's considered what's cool. I mean, we've seen not just Mexicans, we've seen damn Arabs people all over the world are copying certain things.
Arabs, they try to be light skinned.
They try to be Drake.
Or a biracial.
They try to be like Drake. I saw an Arab woman once say, "I'm tired of these dudes trying to be like black men," and I was like, "Damn." But black men, we went through our shit. I remember when I did some research. You go back to the early 1900s. Black men was frying their hair like crazy. They was doing certain things to their body to make themselves fit into the status quo. And luckily they came out of it and decided to find pride in themselves somewhat. We still got some ways to go, but All right, let's move on. This is gonna be a quick little clip. Just showing as she brought up the personification of cool. Who's the standard for it? Now this right here, I think this is Asian. This is Asian or Mexican? This is Mexican, ain't it? Let me turn this down. I ain't want too low.
They all the same.
What? You're right. They're all Asian.
Native Americans are straight up Mongoloids from
in Mexico,
Siberia and Mongolia.
Yeah, most of them are Mongoloid.
And we know that a lot of Mexicans say they are Native Americans.
Exactly, because they come from Bering Strait, from the Bering Strait,
So
Alaska.
that would put them as what? Asians. And China has literally come out and said that Native Americans are Asians.
We did a video maybe last year where we talked about a former general in China was saying how they're going to take over America to help the yellow people who were being oppressed. And he was talking about Native Americans. He referred to them as yellow people.
And they do refer to themselves as yellow people. I have a little employee, and she's a sweet little Asian lady. And I have to, help her because, she can't access the computer well. And her username is something, and her password happens to be yellow something. I was like, they really do.
Is it gold?
No, yellow.
Oh, I thought it was gold.
Oh, but you have Asian people saying they are no longer yellow. They gold.
They want to be wealthy. They don't want the color. They want to be a color. They want to be something precious.
Yep.
These niggas ain't gang. These niggas ain't step on. Work claim set till we check on.
Now look at this. And this is what I was talking about. As the dude said, look, he enables it. This dude right here is the one who enables it.
Yeah.
He ain't telling him, yo, chill out.
I spotted his black ass off the rip. Because you were like, there ain't no black people. I said the Negro was in the beginning, and then more showed up. Just like for those Asian people,
Asian Sacramento,
it was black people that was taking up for them, and they had this. He's talking about how his sister had a black kid.
Yeah,
I said, oh, that's why they there.
Oh, that's why they there.
That's why they supporting y'all.
Your sister, while you out there,
out there saying this and gonna get your ass whooped, I'm gonna have your sister in the back room.
Exactly. Now let me show this one too.
Access anything for it.
Buzzing, ain't no capping, you can ask spliff. You must be on some, all these Mexicans is clowns shit. Let me put a couple things in perspective for you. Respect the black culture, but I don't gotta rep it for you. And hip hop ain't a black thing, I got a lesson for you. Latino B-boys in the Bronx lay the foundation for you.
Once again, why are Mexicans trying to claim Latino? You're a Mexican. But he's trying to claim Latino from the Bronx because of hip hop in New York.
And that's a lie.
And these niggers and I said niggas. I said it so wrong. That came out so wrong.
He's a racist, y'all.
I'm sorry.
He's in blackface sitting next to me. It's actually a white man. Get the fuck out of here, Holmes.
It's it. What's that word? Anyway, but yeah. They allow these people to be there at the foundation of something. So now you have to fight off the control of this thing forever. At some point, we got to let it go. You agree?
Let what go?
Hip hop.
I believe so.
At some point, we gotta let it go.
They trying their best to take R&B, but they can't take R&B because they don't have the soul to take R&B.
Black Americans haven't really been strong in R&B for like 2 decades.
It's a whole bunch of biracials doing R&B,
and it still ain't been taken over by nobody. So maybe we need to go back to that and recalibrate. Go back to R&B and recalibrate.
It's not even just the Mexicans that do it. You also have the black Caribbean people. They coming out of the woodwork saying they created this, they did this. Stop the bull, the BS.
I saw someone say that funk.
Wow.
Well, not funk. I'm sorry, I can't remember the genre now. So many genres.
I know, so many that we have if they created all this stuff and they do it, so take it over, take it back and do what you got to do with it. If y'all do it so well.
I can't remember what genre it is, but they said that Haitians had something to do with it. Obviously, Jamaicans they said Jamaicans had something to do with hip hop, and they said jazz was affected by I can't remember.
You know, I'm
a
trying.
West African country or a South African country. I can't remember.
I'm trying to not have an evil eye towards the black immigrants because they are family. I was about to say something about Haiti.
They cousins.
If they don't involve water and dirt.
Let me.
Hip hop always been about saving the black and brown. Gave a new meaning to seeing bodies hit the ground. Gave a new meaning to homie out here getting down. Head spinning, now your head spinning. How that sound? So before you sit inside another Lolo, just know that really came from us. It's how we roll, bro.
So they now created. Mexican people also invented low riders.
Now, I don't know. I haven't been to confirm that or deny that, but I know that the way they dress, George brought it up earlier. The zoot suits and all that, they got that from black people. They got that from black people 100%. Now the low riders, I don't know. I don't know.
Well, the California Negroes, they're in the comment section.
They're in the comment section?
Do y'all know anything about Mexicans being the one that created the low riders with the rims and then the hydraulics on the vehicles? Who created that?
Well, in some eyes, we look at you and see you sexy with black, you're beautiful, and you're beautiful. Thank you very much. That's because the original you are in common copy. Oh, yeah, the original man. we know the original.
Human.
Yeah. I'm 43. Hard to stop, but I'm because my daughter repeats everything I say. I know my history very well, and it's stopping the word. I grew up in hip hop. All my friends use the N word. What up, Rodney? What up, bruh? Culture vulture is the correct term. I agree. Arabs own more slaves than white people, which is why it's surprising me when niggas join the. Anyway, I'll move on from that. Right, Travis. Right, Travis. You gotta have a soul for the R&B. Yeah,
R&B dead.
Ronnie said it's dead.
That's true. It is dead. I've said that. I've said that.
Is it really dead though?
It's
R&B dead.
I'm sure there's some artists out there that, you know.
We still got artists.
Who from this generation?
Yeah, Chris Brown.
Yeah,
I agree. Songs off his last album.
I agree.
You got
but he just does that. It's not just straight R&B. He also has to.
His last album.
I'm tired of auto-tune.
No, his last album, he got some R&B.
Are we not tired of auto-tune?
I think we voted. I'm officially. I mean, I can't listen to an R&B song. Hip hop, I don't care, but at least in R&B.
Can we hear your voice? In the 90s,
unfortunately, particularly the brothers. I don't know how many women I know R&B singers who use auto-tune. I know they use it a little bit, but I don't know if they use it as much as the dudes.
I don't know too many dudes who use R&B.
Use auto-tune?
Name one that don't. Recent or back in the day?
Now, I'm talking now.
Who use it now?
Chris Brown is starting to use it.
I said he need to stop using auto-tune.
Jivion uses it?
Jivion, I don't even think Jivion
It
Black
don't matter.
American.
He's in R&B. He has some American in him. Please, let's move on from the auto-tune. All right, back to this. This is the final thing we're going to do on this Mexican topic, at least.
Yeah, I'm tired of them.
Now, this dude.
I could have said a word, but I hadn't said the slur word yet. But I'm tired of them. You see, I didn't say it.
But they don't put it in their songs, do they?
What?
They do.
No, they don't.
They do. In Mexican hip-hop and Mexican.
They put their slur in their songs?
Yeah, they use that word.
Oh, okay.
That's just like
you
Italian.
ever said that word?
Yeah, you see, I didn't say the S word. I didn't say the W word. I just said that word.
Yeah.
But anyway, Italians use theirs, and everybody understands that's theirs. There are certain words that.
Hey, you dare not say the Jewish slur.
Boy.
If we say that word right here, YouTube's gonna strike our ass.
We might go.
Like how those white people got struck by lightning in Washington.
Yeah, y'all heard about that story? How you 73 and 74? It was 74, 75?
That's how they supposed to die.
And they were in front of the White House,
and lightning
struck them and killed both of them. I think a third person was struck across the street as well, but they lived. I think a younger person.
They died. That's why it says 3 now killed.
Oh, really?
They didn't make it.
Wow. How do you?
But anyway,
you live all those years together, and then you go to the White
House.
Because
that's how you're supposed to die. That let you know there is a higher power. That you have a date, you have a time, and he's already made how you're gonna get killed. That's a painful way to go out. But it probably was so fast they didn't even.
Well, they probably just had a heart attack. Just had a heart attack
because all that electricity.
Yeah, it just went through their body.
Yeah.
Okay for us too, but it's okay for you too. Like, nah, homie, it don't work like that. I've been through the prison system. You have too. I haven't been through California's. I've been through New Mexico's. And let me tell you something. This is what I'm gonna tell you. If people don't want to like a certain race or they don't want to affiliate with them, who move on?
I agree. Thank you. I'm not gonna show this whole video because it's 2 minutes, but we got to speed this up this segment. But all he said in this video was, "Look, man, I got my own stuff with my people. I don't got time to be protesting for yours as well." I agree.
He said that we have enough on our plate. We're oppressed too. We have our own battles to fight.
I can't fight yours,
and I can't fight yours. So that black and brown shit need to go away.
And it's strange to want another man of another race to fight for you.
Exactly.
Do it yourself. Like I remember, I saw some people making an argument that it's like somebody was like, "It's not pro-black to call ICE," and I was like, "Well, who we calling them on?" If a Negro in California, some grandma is in California, and she's seeing some wild shit outside in her neighborhood, and she decided to call ICE or the police on them, and they end up getting deported, is she?
Well, I seen just for Mexicans. ICE is for any illegal.
No, they were saying they were mainly talking about black immigrants, but it was like, well, what about the other immigrants? You can't call it on them either. So if a black granny in Cali is saying some crazy shit outside her door, she called the cops, and those people just so happen to get deported, she's wrong?
No, she's not wrong.
And it's like, no.
That's for any of the groups. Any of them.
You should be able to do that to protect her. Like,
and don't feel bad.
Another group we got to finally, another Asian group. Y'all got to start giving these people y'all money, man.
But they can't, we done told their asses to stay away from them.
If you wanna, yeah. But I told you that, so if you didn't ring me up, is that my fault? It's my fault? Yeah, it gotta be your fault. Shit, you pay me how much money? I give you how much? Man, fix that. I don't give a fuck what y'all do. Put my money back on my account. I don't give a fuck. How y'all do?
So
or fix my.
She's just asking them to redo the order, and they don't even want to redo the order.
No,
they don't have no respect for y'all.
Exactly.
If that was
now let's just some scratch.
Oh shit! Man, what the fuck? Hey man. Hey man. Hey. Y'all don't do that. Don't do that. Don't.
So obviously, you see, they were trying to hit on the black woman. Like, look, now one thing she did, you know, I ain't gonna say she started the violence, not the black woman.
Out of frustration, because
I'm not saying, but why are we stuck patronizing these people? Get away from their businesses.
The proper thing for her to do would have been to call the police,
or
not even going into the business first.
The whole city should just shut that down. Like, we ain't going there no more.
And then you have black people just sitting there at the table, like this is just a normal thing that happens.
Lay them people alone. They do good business.
Exactly. That's how black people
That's
are.
how niggas do.
But if that was a black-owned place, they would have did that.
Y'all know y'all need to do her order.
You would have black
every
people.
reason to chastise the owners. You would have every reason to chastise them because they ain't doing something right.
You would have black people out there sitting at the tables cussing out
the cooks and all
the cooks and stuff, saying she
Redo
can't
her
cook
order.
no way.
Yeah.
The food don't be good when such and such here no way. You would have had them saying all type of stuff.
But you know, that's how we do, right? That's how we do. All right, another one that happened. This is Terrell Owens.
Oh, he's calling people Karens now. Terrell Owens.
Didn't I told you when this Karen thing started that when you start giving people a name for a particular demographic, it dehumanizes the demographic. Very quickly, the Karens, you start seeing people putting hands on these white women, old or young. They didn't care. Now, it kind of slowed down during the pandemic, but hey, I said at some point one of these quote unquote Karen's gonna get somebody gonna pull out a gun. It didn't go that far yet. At least we ain't got no video of it. But we've seen plenty of people put hands on these old women, young white women, anybody. The word has spread now to where anybody, any woman who do anything can be called a Karen. But it started with white women. They even came out with articles and stuff saying we have to stop doing this. It's causing a target. That's what they said. A target's been put on Caucasian women's back because of this term. So now anytime you know how it's crazy? Anytime a white woman complains about anything now, even if she's right,
You're being a Karen.
And it just shuts everything she's saying down. And it's like, now you know what it's like
to be called a byword.
Exactly. And for all your complaints to be seen as you just complaining about nothing.
What they do, they don't complain about shit.
Which is proof of the fall of this civilization. Because when the women are not safe, and you're supposed to be at the top.
Yeah, Terrell Owens he got his wake up. I remember years ago, he had a VH1 show with 2 black women. I think they were his managers.
Yeah,
and a woman,
and he was broke. Yeah,
I don't know if he was broke.
He went broke. Yeah, it was a passionate.
And a woman he was involved with was a white woman at the time on that show.
Yeah, because when he went broke, he had a phone call. He looked at that. He said, "I'm broke." And he started crying. It was a big moment on TV because he got I think he had 3 baby mamas, and all the child support kind of ate him up. I think 2 of them are black, and one of them might be biracial. I don't know, maybe white. I don't know.
That's his business.
He ran the stop sign.
Well, there is no stop sign. What are you talking about? I understand. Where did you hit?
I wasn't, but I asked him to slow down, and he got out of his car and started harassing me. He put his car in park.
Right, because you're going to yell at me and telling me I'm almost hit you, and I didn't.
But you didn't have to get out of your fucking car.
You didn't have to talk to me that way either, Karen.
You're a black man approaching a white woman.
Whoa.
You're a black man
Whoa
approaching a black woman. You better watch your place, bub.
Didn't it sound that she sounded like Miss Ann? She turned into Miss Ann real quick
I
on the
can get
plantation.
I can get you strung up. I mean, locked up.
Exactly.
That's what she meant by that.
That she was on that type of time.
Tar and feather his ass. That's what she was saying.
I will say that recording this type of stuff is safe at this point. I think we're at a time now where recording is like necessary. In any dispute, you need to record it, because what she just said right there means that if he wasn't recording that, now they are in front of a police officer at this point, but the fact that she's saying that in front of the police, if the police weren't there, she would have came up with all type of shit that he did to her.
He tried to rape her.
He grabbed her. He started chasing
he's
her.
Aggressive, and her husband is out there too. And her husband had told her to go in the house. By the way,
and now we're getting to what this really is about. We'll wait.
First of all, you had your boy right here, your husband right here. So first of all, I don't do that type of stuff.
He said your boy.
You did. You put your car in park and you came at me.
First of all, I didn't come at you.
Yes, you did.
You can stop all of that, Karen.
Okay, listen.
Get out of here with all of that.
Listen, if you guys want me here, I can solve it.
He literally came after me.
Here she crying. There's Karen.
There's a black
Look at
woman.
this.
Police officer.
This is unbelievable.
Huh?
I saw that black woman. She's out there.
Yeah.
Swear to God, I've never been a part of nothing like this. I've seen it.
Do you have your ID?
I've seen it. Yes, I've seen it, but this is firsthand. Oh boy, there she's crying. Oh my God, this is real.
And is it crazy to me that he seems shocked?
He do.
He has genuine shock on his face that this
Because
happened to him.
this has never happened. He's seen it, but because he's Terrell Owens, he didn't think he would experience it.
Like, there was a story, and I'm not bringing this up to attack the brother I'm about to talk about. There was a brother out in Cali who was I think he was a football coach or something like that. He was like a youth football coach. But he had a post on Facebook where he was saying how he don't believe in police brutality as a problem. He was defending cops. And the cops were called to one of his football practices, and they literally walked up and just shot him in the chest, bye-bye, killed him. Oh, I thought he was in danger. And it's like, wow, this dude who was defending y'all, who was a pillar of his community, as they say, defended cops. They just walked up and just
took his ass out like
got
he was
him out of
nothing.
here. He was trying to walk up to them and tell them the situation. And they took him as a threat immediately and just
he's
killed
black.
him. And it's like, you did all that.
And specifically
I'm
a black man.
And I'm not, attacking, rest in peace. I don't want to talk bad about, but you did all that, and that's how they took you out. They didn't think twice about it.
Because your life is nothing.
This is real. This is real. Here you go. Here you go, sir. This is real. This is real. This is real. This is real. I've never seen it. I've seen it, but I've never been a part of this. This is real life. And now she's crying. Her husband tried to tell her to go in the house, but now she wanted to do the whole Karen thing. So I'm going to be here with my camera to show everything.
Let me say this.
That's what white women do.
If you were a woman and y'all married or dating, and she got this much emotion for another man, he can evoke this much emotion, anger, anything. That's not good. your woman.
What she really crying about is that he didn't take her to a motel.
I'm just saying, if another man can get this much emotion out of some stranger, she could have just walked away. If some stranger can get this much emotion, and yeah, it doesn't speak well.
First of all, you need to stop that.
You were speeding through the neighborhood.
He was not. I was in the garage.
There you go, black woman.
You see
Defend
that?
that black man.
Now you see that, sister? She came through for you. Now, she might be lying with you. Now we don't know if he was speeding or not. She might just stand on your side just because. You know why? It's not how they said when that dude asked the older black man, why did you support this boxer? And he was a black boxer, he was an old black man. He said, patriotism. When really we know what it really was.
Because he black.
Exactly. But it's patriotism. She's supporting her brother.
I ain't there because I was sitting in the garage.
She said I was First of all, I know what you're saying. No, I get you.
I got you.
No, this is real. This is real life in 2022. This is real life Karen stuff.
He's so surprised. It breaks my heart.
Or he playing a role and pretending that he's surprised.
It's funny you say he playing a role because literally immediately somebody made a Terrell Owens jail time for woman reporting false racist police report. He want her arrested, but he should want her arrested, right?
Well, she should get arrested.
Now,
he got a petition out here.
Yeah, someone started it for Alex Kirshner.
I tell you, niggas getting good at these petitions, ain't they?
Quick too. To Florida District Attorney Ashley Moody. On August 3rd, a woman by the name of Kathleen Davis in Florida decided to make a false police report and claimed that a retired NFL player Terrell Owens was speeding in his own neighborhood. As a result, she felt threatened and decided to call the police. Terrell started recording her until police arrived. Another neighbor chimed in saying that he wasn't speeding, being threatened as she watched the entire interaction. Kathleen Davis claimed she felt threatened because, in her own words, a black man was approaching a white woman. The big, scary black man attacking or coming towards the innocent, pure,
like the movie with the gorilla,
King Kong.
That's the perfect thing how they view.
Yeah, the black man, the black beast going after the dainty,
the little dainty little white woman. You know they say they little.
Same thing with
like the
Planet of the Apes,
like how the soccer player described them.
Who?
The soccer player. She described white.
Oh yeah,
and NBA black women
as big black lesbians.
Big black lesbians.
But soccer has little pretty white women.
Little pretty white women. King Kong going after the little pretty white women.
Then you got Planet of the Apes, which is just about Fear of the Black Planet. The whole.
Oh, what's his name?
Who?
With the blue jacket.
Oh yeah,
D-Ray.
D-Ray.
He's like, yeah, that movie was.
Copy me like, nah, bro. It's been in the movie since they've been had it.
Before you even. Well, yeah, they didn't even let you out. It was already.
He got a little clout off of it, so he good.
He got a little clout off of it until people like, no, they've been doing this.
Black people was going with it like, yeah, that's D-Ray.
You just came out and fulfilled that prophecy of a little black man walking around in a damn blue jacket. And you just so happen to look like
a vest.
it.
Don't call it a jacket. It was a vest.
In a blue vest, and you just happen to look like that.
Did he finally stop wearing it?
I think he don't wear the blue vest no more.
Last time I saw, he still was wearing it. It became like a thing for him, the blue vest.
So he wear that blue vest year round.
Yes. Event. Now I don't know if he wear it by himself, but he go to events. He wear that blue vest.
Not in my school.
Oh shit! Tell him that little story.
No, we already behind schedule.
Okay. Yeah, we gotta speed up. It's eerily. So they went into the racist white woman, scared of the big black man. Should they go for an arrest here?
Yeah, they should arrest her. Just like they did the bird watcher.
Well, he didn't want it.
Well, no, the bird watcher didn't want it because they said, we'll give you a show in a couple of years. That was also in a staged event.
Yeah, probably.
This is probably a staged event too with Terrell Owens to get him some clout. Sorry, somebody had to say it.
And look at this right here. This is in Seattle. Seattle gets this image, just like Portland, as this super
what's going on
liberal place. Yeah, I ain't show you this one. Yeah, you see how she tried to face. She'd be like, "What's going on?"
What's my daddy? What's going on?
My daddy be saying all the time, "What's going on?
What's going on, man?"
But they sell Portland and Washington as these super liberal places, which they are. But they try to make it seem like they're not racist. when Portland has a very racist history. Like they literally didn't want black people in the city.
Or so did Seattle. They don't want us. They made laws where you couldn't sell houses.
Yeah,
to black people,
which is all over the country. But yeah,
I'm dumb as fuck. Where your husband at?
Now this is a homosexual black dude. I don't know what his partner is, but this woman,
white man.
While he's going to his house, this woman pulls up to his house and calls the cops on him.
For what?
I don't know. These people getting crazy.
Did he try to hit on her husband? Listen, women are going to the extreme to keep their man. He came home and he told her what happened, and she's like, "Fuck that, we're calling the police."
If you guys have a lease, I'd just like to see the lease.
No, man.
She wants them to verify they live there by showing a lease. Imagine, just like that Brennan Tatum, that dude's worse.
I told you he worse.
I know. I said he was worse. Brennan Tatum, my God. I think he might surpass. I keep thinking J. Edgar Hoover. His name is not J. Edgar Hoover. His name is Elderly.
Larry Elderly?
Larry Elder. Elderly.
I called him Elderly.
Brennan Tatum might surpass Larry Elder. Larry Elder is the one who defended Zimmerman for killing Trayvon Martin, saying that he would love to have someone like that in his community who's willing to defend the neighborhood. I said, oh,
he's
my
defending
God.
this video?
No, Brennan Tatum is defending something else we're going to talk about.
Oh.
But the reason why I brought that up is because, damn, I forgot why I brought it up. Oh, because Brennan Tatum is the one who said the brother Ahmaud Arbery should have just stopped when the white guys told him to stop. Grown-ass man should just stop because somebody else want him to stop. He should just, because a white person want him to stop.
So when I go running and white people just say stop,
I don't know you. Stop while I only talk to
I'm
you.
just supposed to go and let them interrogate me like they're police
It's
officers.
literally like we runaway slaves, and if they want to interview us,
They slave catchers.
Literally, we supposed to just stop. But yeah, back to this.
No business
For real.
personal document.
Yeah,
At
see?
all.
They're like in their 30s. Yes. It's just a medium weight.
The fuck we got to steal something for? What do we need?
All right,
It's two black dudes, I believe.
You sure it's two black dudes?
Because if it was a white dude there, I think she would have just left.
Well, regardless of the point, no matter is.
She might have thought they were squatters.
Yeah, okay. So she called the cops and all that other stuff. In these situations, should you even go back and forth? Should you just walk away? You record it and
I walk away. As long as she don't pull that damn red car up in the yard, she good.
She'll come in the yard. I'm not calling the cops.
Well,
if I'm in my own place with my abode, and she driving in my yard, yeah.
If she standing out there on the side of the road, she has every right to. But when a red car come in the yard,
you know what I'm saying?
Shotgun, I'm gonna blow her ass all the way to Chicago. Shout out to Chi-Town.
The Windy City.
Bullet City.
Oh yeah.
That's the lies they put out there.
Funny you said, it's so crazy. This is great. This is just perfect how you just tied this in just now. Woodruff's man fired shots in Chicago Park. Police find handwritten notes about mass shooting in vehicle. I ain't see nothing about this. You see anything about this?
Maybe they were upset that they didn't get to go through.
No, the fact that this is in Chicago.
Yeah, Mello, did you hear about this in Chicago? Do you know anything about this?
It says that a Woodruff's man was arrested Thursday in Inglewood. Inglewood, that's the black area.
Yeah.
With 5 loaded guns,
It's
over
funny,
1,000
there's an Inglewood in California, I believe.
It's all over the place. It's Fayetteville in Arkansas. And in
they got
North
an
Carolina.
airport too. The Fayetteville in North Carolina and in Arkansas both have airports. So you could get them confused if you didn't pay attention to the state.
Yeah. A Woodruff man was arrested Thursday in Inglewood with 5 loaded guns, over 1,000 rounds of ammunition, and disturbing handwritten notes about mass shooting. Chicago police say they intercepted the man after he fired a shotgun into a park. Alexander Pograny? That sounds, is that Polish?
Probably a fake name.
You think so? 29 now faces 5 felony counts of aggravated unlawful use of weapon. I think of Columbine, I think of all the other mass shootings that we hear about nationwide. This hits home. To know that you could have been us, it devastates me. But then it also gives me comfort that we have men and women that are serving and protecting us. He arrested near Morin Park, located in 57th Street and Racing Avenue.
She says she hasn't heard about that.
Really?
So they haven't even put this information out.
I mean, it's obviously,
it should be on the local news.
I found it on, this is local, I think.
Yeah, Fox 32, Chicago.
But it's not on national cover.
But she said she's in Chicago, and she said, I live in Inglewood.
Yeah. There was a dude there talking about going to Inglewood, the blackest area, they said, in Chicago. All those firearms were readily accessible. Now they're trying to go into the gun thing. But yeah, I saw this story and I said, wait, a dude attempted to go to
This should have
Inglewood?
been on CNN, MSNBC.
Well, they said because they stopped them from doing it.
But still.
It was a congratulations to the officers, you know.
Oh, we know the officers wasn't going to go in and help.
Oh, yeah, the stories I heard about how they have a rule there where if somebody gets shot, they got to stand away until the situation clean up. They don't go back and forth. Damn. Yeah, she said, shout out to my brothers. I haven't heard about that. I live in Inglewood. See, they be lying. They want this property. It's so beautiful and historical. They want the shit. Y'all believe me? Yeah. Chicago, if I'm not mistaken, there was a story I remember hearing by, what's his name? The reporter on ESPN. I forgot his name. Anyway, he basically told a story about how a friend of his lived in the city in Chicago and she wanted to move to another area, but she couldn't get approved. So she was forced to live in the hood and she ended up getting killed.
How you get approved to live somewhere? You talking about like a loan for buy a house?
Yeah, a loan. She didn't get approved. And so she had to stay where she was at and she ended up getting killed in that neighborhood. He was like, this is the power of redlining. You can literally put people in places where they can't get away and it can cost them their life in some instances. But I also know that they be doing a lot of
get killed though?
Shooting. Now I'm going to the gang violence and all that
Then
other
we have
stuff.
to put that on ourselves and say we're being redlined and our own people in our community are killing us. It's like we're being held hostage for the slaughter.
Yeah.
What did Regina say?
Seattle is fake.
It is. Seattle is.
Seattle is racist as it's always been. Exactly.
Seattle is.
It's crazy. You know how whenever you go somewhere you just don't understand stuff, you just go, this place is crazy.
Yeah, you just look at you just have to zone yourself out pretty much in order to live here.
Yeah. Another crazy story I'm gonna show y'all right here. Florida pair arrested for filming sexual acts with their dog.
Y'all, guess what race this is? Oh,
there it go.
Are we surprised?
Even a little bit?
The white woman would lay down with anything.
And that thing. Florida woman was arrested Tuesday for allegedly committing sexual acts with her dog, while her ex-boyfriend, who was also arrested, recorded on video, police said. Christina Calelio, 36, willingly engaged in sexual activity with the dog on multiple occasions over the course of roughly 8 years. Her ex-lover, 39-year-old Godfrey Springer, a Largo, is allegedly recorded the encounters and then put them on hard drive. The dog, which has no visible injuries, was taken into animal hospital by deputies for a routine examination.
Well, what injuries would a dog have? I mean, was she on riding the dog and then
here's the crazy part.
She jumped on his pelvis too hard and broke the damn dog pelvis?
That's too much. But listen, the reason why the ex-lover, the reason why he broke up with her, because he was getting jealous of her and the dog.
Because the dog was putting it down better than he was. It's a shame.
It's a damn shame. This world is gone.
What was that?
What? What?
No, I can't even put an acronym for it.
What do you mean?
I'm about to give the dog an acronym.
Yeah. I never been to Seattle, but I'm coming.
Don't come.
Hey, if you coming to it depends on what you're coming for. You planning on moving here?
Are you coming here to visit? Or you coming here to move?
If you coming here
to stay,
you coming to visit some family or something. All right, but
you're gonna see a lot of interracial couples here.
I'm just saying, if you planning on moving here, I wouldn't recommend it.
I wouldn't recommend it.
But hey, you might have a different experience. Who knows? All right.
I lived. Oh yeah. Did you see Mystery?
What? Oh, white people really love their pets. Let me tell you something. I be walking around here sometimes, right? And
I lived in the most racist cities in America, Mr. Man. Then Boston, Massachusetts. He put Boston is racist.
Boston is
They'll call you a Monday.
Yeah. Oh, she said just a visit.
Okay, good.
Yeah, but I was in when I walk around, right, you'll see these tiny 5'3" Caucasian women with these gigantic dogs, and you go, why do you got? I know some people say they have these big ass dogs to protect themselves, their house, and
they have these big ass dogs to protect them, to cozy up with, cuddle, and then when the lights go out,
sick ass people. These dogs be like, you could tell the woman can barely control the dog, but they
have
walk around
fur
with
on their heads and bodies just like a dog. They smell like a wet dog, so they're able to
who coined the term dog is a man's best friend?
The white man, and the white woman was like, "You're right."
Very exclusive white woman 88.
The white man's best friend and the white woman's best lover. Sickos.
White woman 88 who triggered the lynching of Emmett Till is seen for the first time in 20 years as she lives out final days cancer-stricken in a hospice care.
This is a storyline, like you said.
I told you a storyline.
It's a storyline.
But she's about to go to she ain't going to the upper room. She's about to croak soon, so they want to let you know. They're trying to make it public.
Is that why they call the white woman private parts kitty cat?
Oh man.
Oh god.
For some reason the wrong one is showing up. Hold on. All right. This, like I said, this is a storyline.
So now that she has been found, she's cancer-stricken.
She's on hospice.
So there's no reason to go through with this.
Yeah, we can just move on. Nothing happens.
Yeah. Pretty much.
Hold on. I don't think I turned this one into one, did I? Oh shit. Sorry about this. Okay. All right. So after that, it's a little tiny update on this case here.
Tulsa judge
allows 1921 race massacre lawsuit to continue forward.
Allows.
That's kind of how it goes, man.
This happened in 1921. This is Farrakhan. This is 2022. And they're still having to do lawsuits in order to get their reparations, their justice that they have not received yet.
A Tulsa judge is allowing a lawsuit brought up plaintiffs, including the living survivors of 1921 race massacre, to officially move forward. The written order filed on Wednesday provides a reasoning behind the May decision by Tulsa County District Judge Caroline Wall that did not impart a motion to dismiss the case brought forward by defense, including the city of Tulsa and Tulsa County. No further details were offered at this time.
Now, what's the excuse for this case? This woman, she actually went through this. She lived through it, and she still can't get no reparations for it because the argument for reparations for Black Americans is, well, that didn't happen to you. That happened to your ancestors.
Yeah,
but this is the proof that we need that they just don't want to pay us our damn money. That's just what it ultimately boils down to.
But keep an eye on this. See how much further it can go. How much money? I respect them for standing on what they believe, because I think we're offered $1 million for funds and was $100,000.
$100,000, and they're going to put the funds towards $1 million fund, towards the city.
Yes, scholars or something, scholarships or something. I can't remember.
And they were like,
no.
And they were like, the city didn't go through it. We went through it.
So basically, they're like, well, before we go, we're gonna make sure we have something to pass down
to our generation,
or truly pass down. So yeah,
so that's good.
Cause they could have easily took that $100K and just,
I mean, they like we ain't got too much loans, so we could enjoy this.
We could enjoy this little money.
We can rip through this in a couple of weeks. go to Vegas and live it up.
Really get up out of here. But yeah, another thing that happened, I saw this. The phrasing of this was very interesting.
Ghana.
Now, remember, Ghana is the place where one of the
tribal
leaders,
our kings,
whatever you want to call them, they don't like being called tribes. Yeah, I didn't know that that's a bad thing, but apparently they don't like being called tribes.
Oh, because when you
them seem small and insignificant when you say that.
You call them tribes, they think of savage and
small,
not modern,
in the bush living,
huts,
which is
what they still do.
That is in places there. It's not a bad thing.
It's bad. It's weird that is y'all. That's y'all culture,
and you don't like it. It's
like you don't like
that's in the Arab countries, Asian countries,
because
all over
the
world.
white man sees them as being savages. They're not 21st century living people.
I tell you what, Arabs don't give a damn. They still Arabs. They live the same way. They live in the little in villages, and they don't mind it. That's how they live.
Shit in the damn.
No, I'm not talking about
streets.
Indians. I'm talking about Arabs.
Arabs shit in the damn
no,
streets
I'm talking
too.
about them. Their villages. They have villages just like Africa, and they're not ashamed of it.
Okay.
But I'll say, the Africans that are Americanized are ashamed of it. I won't say Africans are ashamed of it.
No, they don't like you to point out their
villages, tribes.
They want you to point out the cities with the tall buildings and the landscape.
Yeah.
To show how beautiful Africa is.
Yeah, one of the Ghanaian tribal leaders, he did a formal apology for slavery
to Black Americans
in particular.
He didn't. Did he say Black Americans or did he say the diaspora?
I think he said diaspora.
Okay,
well,
diaspora.
Don't quote me on that. I'm not for sure. But
Let's
anyway,
just go with the diaspora to not seem like arrogant and make it about us.
Main character syndrome. Ghana joins Caribbean in reparations demand. Right. It said the president of Ghana has led calls for reparations for slavery across Africa and the African diaspora.
How can you put Africa before the before the diaspora?
The harm is
toward diaspora. You know what? No, the real harm is towards Africa.
Yeah.
Because when they decided to sell their best and brightest.
Well, hold on. We don't know they sold their best and brightest.
Clearly they did because they ain't done shit, really. If they had us there, the electricity and the internet wouldn't be being off for 14, 16 hours a day. We would have figured that shit out. Not being cocky, just being real.
Is that just because of access to certain education?
Well, no, because everywhere we've been, we've created stuff.
It's people there.
Who? Well, the ones there are not using their minds because
they are using it. They're being hamstrung by their government.
So the government is holding them back from their potential.
Well, we know they're robbing them of their resources and selling it off. Yeah.
But they should be able to do something with the resources and create something. Wouldn't you agree?
The point is they're being robbed of being able to have their opportunity.
So they come to America, right?
And they're able to do things.
But they don't go back to Africa.
Because if they went back, they would still get exploited.
Well, aren't they exploiting us here in America?
Yeah, they're stealing all our shit. So the same thing happening with their own.
It's just one particular paragraph that he said that just caught my eye. It's time.
Let me just go right here. The president addressed crowds at the reparations and racial healing summit this week and said that atoning for the horrors of the transatlantic slave trade had been long overdue. Now, he said what he was talking about: transatlantic slave trade. He called for demands to be heightened in the fight for reparations with Caribbean nations like Grenada, Antigua, and Barbuda. No, it ain't. It's Barbuda.
It's Barbuda.
You don't look this word
now
up.
You done got me.
We looked it up earlier.
Just keep reading.
You said the way we looked it up, and it's
Barbuda.
You said the way it's spelled.
That's
Barbuda.
Barbuda.
Yes.
Okay.
Barbuda. And Jamaica have done off the back of the royal tour of the region earlier this year and blasted the double standard of other ethnic groups impacted by colonial powers. It is time for Africa, 20 million of whose sons and daughters have had their freedoms curtailed and sold into slavery, also to receive reparation.
So he's saying Africa should receive reparations also, because they took people's family members from Africa to the diaspora, and you made an argument with it. Go ahead and say it.
Well, they said that there are still relatives of black people who were sold off there. Nephews, daughters, sons, mothers, daughters.
But shouldn't Africa, like you said, pay them those reparations because they participated in the slave trade?
If I said.
So why are they asking for colonial people to pay them in reparations when they were also partakers in the Atlantic slave trade?
Well, we're going to get to that.
And then, you know what? You hurt yourself when the tribal men came out and apologized for their role in slavery.
Reparations for African and African diaspora are long overdue. Predictably, the question of reparations becomes a debate only when it comes to Africa and Africans. We believe the calls for reparations for Africa are just. Native Americans have received and continue to receive reparations. Japanese American families who were incarcerated in entrapment camps in America during World War II received reparations. Jewish people, 6 million of whom perished in concentration camps in the Hitlerite Germany, received reparations.
So it sounds to me like he's saying America should pay them reparations. The Caribbean people are saying that Britain should pay them reparations.
France.
So shouldn't you be bringing up arguments that CARICON is using towards the British? But you saying Britain had no part.
I think they're using the same arguments, aren't they? Receive reparations, including homeland grants and support.
What arguments? I think the Caribbean, CARICON are using, they have to use examples of how Britain harmed
this is how this
or pay reparations to.
Just hold on. See, what happened is America was once Britain, right? This is why there's a debate about was America in 1619 or 1776? Because 1619 it was still a British colony. Once they became their own country, independent in 1776, that's when they say we got out of slavery. So that now, so you got the island saying, well, during that time between 1619 and 1776, y'all were doing trading with Caribbean countries as well. So you owe us too, along with Britain.
He should have used like how Britain has paid also the Jews reparation money too. He could have used
He
that.
said
as
that. He
an
said
example.
Jewish people, 6 million of whom perished in concentration.
No, he's talking about America.
Well, he just used 2 examples of Americans. I'm not going to automatically say those Jews automatically. He's comparing putting it towards America.
Putting it towards America.
Hold on, it was Britain the one who signed the Balfour Declaration, which led to them getting the land over in Israel. It was Britain. So
I know.
He could be saying Britain right here.
Okay, I'll let you have that one.
The Ghanaian president faced backlash for his comments as critics claim it was an attempt to distract from Ghana's worsening economic problems. However, the president hit back with the claims and said that the legacy of slavery had been devastating to the continent and diaspora, which tempered Africa's economic, cultural, and psychological progress.
So that goes back to my argument.
He did kind of say
he literally said they took our best and brightest to
He did
America.
not say best and brightest. He said it hurt their economic and cultural and psychological
Because they took the best.
Because they took a population. You take 20 million people out of any country, they're gonna be
They
worse off.
took the top tribe out of the damn thing, and then they just got fucked.
It's not a top tribe. It's multiple tribes, ain't it?
No.
They said it was people captured for doing wars and stuff. They were sold off.
That's what they say.
All right.
You believe them? Because I don't.
That's what they say. All right.
Spain owes the most reparations for South America. Sorry.
For some reason this ain't working right, y'all. I don't know why this isn't working. But hold on. Okay, I could do it from here. Yeah, Spain owes the most reparations from South America. Yeah, Spain is funny because that's how I got D'Souza from. His father was Spanish. His mother was, I don't know, African. He was a slave. She was a slave. And the same D'Souza dude went over and became a part of the Homie Kingdom.
Aren't they in Nigeria?
Yes. The D'Souza's now all over the west coast of Africa. So it's funny he said South America because he was a South American half-breed.
That's the Tears group over there.
They're still a family. They still are in power. The D'Souza family over in West Africa. They descend from a half Spanish slave trader whose father was a slave trader.
And they still have their Brazilian culture too.
There's a Brazilian,
the black Brazilian.
Some of the stuff I learned. That's when I learned that when they tell you we didn't know, we didn't learn, they lying.
They all know. That's why I said about, I had some employees, they were from Liberia, and they said they didn't know anything about, black. I said, but black Americans went to Liberia. And you mean to tell me when black Americans went to Liberia, they never talked about
what was going on, the slave trade, how they got there? Y'all know. Throughout the last 100 years, there's been thousands of black people that went repatriated back to Africa. They've taught this. They became, some of them were teachers. I'm sure they taught in the schools. You mean tell me, yeah, stop lying. Y'all had this stuff passed down. When I figured out that they still had a damn celebration of his lineage and how there's still a community over there, black Brazilians
that
in West Africa that still have their culture.
They don't make Jello rice.
Yeah. Y'all know what the hell going on.
I bet you they be getting that Shazan seasoning that you like, Caribbean seasoning.
Please stop acting like it's the only thing I eat. Please. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Everything you make is tacos. Alfredo taco. Who would put that in a Alfredo?
Look, man, don't worry about my cooking. Slavery reparations advocacy group files defamation lawsuit against Harvard. This is Yvette Carnell and Antonio Moore, who won the case to get rid of an article written about ADOS to save his defamation.
This is very smart and very planned.
Very shrewd. Very shrewd.
She loves the word shrewd.
She do. I know.
She like very shrewd. She like using the word shrewd.
So they suing Harvard now because Harvard had to admit that it was defamation by taking the article down. So now, you prove that it is defamation. Now we can sue you
for defamation.
Exactly. Co-founder of the American Descendants of Slavery and Slavery Reparations Advocacy Movement filed a defamation lawsuit against Harvard University last month over a since retracted research article that was published by a journal affiliated with the school. The lawsuit stems from an article published in the Harvard Kennedy School Misinformation Review on January 18, 2021 that claimed ADOS used Twitter to discourage black voters from participating in the 2020 presidential election. Yvette Carnell and Antonio Moore, the co-founders of the movement, claim in the lawsuit that they suffered emotional distress, loss of enjoyment in his life. I wonder why they use just him.
Well, you know what? It's funny because Tone disappeared off of YouTube for
a little while,
like 3 or 4 months. So maybe he was just depressed and going through a lot because of,
But you told me they were leaving a paper trail? They were leaving a paper trail of, I was going through so much depression, I stopped uploading.
I'm not saying that's what they were doing,
by the
but
way.
he did go off of YouTube for like 2 or 3 months.
Their image has been hurt.
Yeah.
Embarrassment.
Their likeness.
Yeah, loss of reputation and loss of earning capacity. It's all true. As a result of the article's publication, Harvard spokesperson Jason A. Newton declined to comment on the suit. ADOS wrote in June 2021 public rebuttal to the misinformation review article that it denied in the strongest terms possible the allegations that it manipulated black voters into abstaining from the 2020 presidential election. The journal, which was published by HK's Shorstein Center, later retracted the article on December 20th, 2021. In an editorial note accompanying the retraction, the Misinformation Review wrote that certain of the principal conclusions reported in this paper cannot be considered reliable or valid. The ADOS rebuttal accused the Misinformation Review article of being part of a smear campaign by the Progressive Political Action Committee and advocacy group Move On, which employed 5 of the article's 10 authors at the time of the publication. The ADOS Advocacy Foundation, which is founded by Carnell in 2021, announced its unequivocal support for the founder, president, and CEO of our organization, Yvette Carnell, as well as for Antonio Moore, as they commenced on civil action against Harvard University. Now, so Tone has nothing to do with ADOS Advocacy Foundation.
No. He didn't want to be a part of that. And that's fine. Sometimes
you don't have to agree on everything, yeah.
Sometimes when you're in a partnership, one person decides to go off and create something else. Or Tone is just sticking with this until, they done this lawsuit, and then he gonna throw the deuces up.
So wait, is the ADOS Advocacy Foundation, that's a foundation, so that's
hers.
Is that meant to be where the money go?
That's where her money gonna go. I don't think Antonio money gonna go there.
I'm saying donations for the group, for the movement. Or it's a group now, or it's a political group. So ADOS, is that just a movement now or a lineage?
Which one?
The one they both founded. ADOS.
I think ADOS is a movement / lineage, and the ADOS Foundation Advocacy is the political side. So Yvette has always been the political. Tone has always been the
social. Relationships, the black family, and all that stuff. Yeah.
So it makes sense.
It makes sense. So they're gonna sue for that bread.
Get your money.
It didn't say anything about money in here, obviously, but I would imagine that's gonna be the ultimate goal.
It's gonna be money.
Ultimate goal, obviously.
So Harvard has 2 cases. She has Renty,
yeah,
dissentant, the lady suing him.
The picture, yeah.
And now she got ADOS. Now they got ADOS on their ass.
Yeah.
And nobody ADOS supporters will be on Harvard's page
all the time,
going at their ass.
They gonna be on their ass.
So. And just imagine, and it's some of them FBA people that still associate with ADOS too, and we know they don't play.
Oh yeah. Hard to sue Harvard. That's where all the good lawyers come from. Exactly.
All the good liars.
Lyoya. I can't believe I just said that.
Like liar.
No, I'm talking about like Medea, Lyoya. But that's what I'm saying. I think more than likely.
Well, you've been watching them Tyler Perry movies.
Let me tell you something. No, I'm not even gonna get into that.
You will go down a whole. That'll be a 5-minute conversation.
Yeah, but I think more than likely Harvard's going to settle for this. Something low, something they can lose. I don't think they want this to be public, even though they would win publicly because the lawyers, there's just so many. Harvard got $1 billion to give to fight this. Like, this is.
They can keep it, they can hold this up in court
for 10 years if they want to. But I
like
think,
those farmers.
Yeah, they did them dirty.
I remember he sold them out and he
was crying. He's like, son of a bitch.
His neighbor sold him out.
His neighbor sold him out.
He's like, I ran out of money, man.
But I'm pretty sure more than likely going to settle on this soon with something that'll just get them out of the way because they don't want this to go public because you don't want to look. The biggest thing with these big institutions is public image. It's like the Renty thing. They don't want that to drag out, but it is. And it's like at some point it's growing and
they're going to have to let that go.
They're going to have to at some point just let it go. But they don't want to take that loss because then other losses going to come. Any picture they're using of anybody, people going to come out the woodwork. Hey, that's my granddaddy. That's my. So they're trying to.
They're just waiting in the cut.
So they won't just pay it off and just get out. Like, get out of here. We gave you something, move.
Yep.
So I think that's what they're going to do with Yvette them too. But we'll see. All right, another update. Hold on. What the heck? All right. Vindication. Breonna Taylor's family supporters celebrate federal charges against cops. How the hell did it take? So they had to do an internal investigation in order to charge.
It's been 2 years?
Yeah, I think so. 2020 is when it happened.
This is around the end of. This is around that.
Yeah, about our anniversary.
I think it was like last month though.
I can't remember.
Around this time when that had happened to her, I believe.
We never know the exact time it happened because the George Floyd thing didn't happen exactly when we thought it happened. The same thing, Breonna Taylor thing didn't happen the date that we found out. It just somehow it gets known at a different time than when it actually happened. They usually hold it in a little bit. You see, her first 874 days, nearly 2.5 years, Tamika Palmer has told anyone who would listen to Louisville police never should have been at her daughter Breonna Taylor's apartment that night that shot her dead in the hallway. On day 874, she learned the federal government agreed. I'm just going to play the video of her, some of it at least, of her speaking.
It's been a little over 2 years.
Yeah.
4 days. So today, on day 874, y'all learning that what I've been saying, let me fix that. What we've been saying, and the rest of them back there, what we've been saying on day one, y'all learning what we've been saying was the truth. That they shouldn't have been there and that Breonna didn't deserve that. Y'all learning that today that we not crazy.
We not crazy.
But what I got something to say. That I remember on one of the, I don't even remember if it was the first year or the second year reunion because every day's been March the 13th for me. Tamika reminded me that Breonna made a post that said, take me to a place that I can't even imagine.
Wow.
Breonna has taken us all to a place that we can't even imagine.
That's good.
So it's good they finally got some vindication.
Why is she dressed in Pan-African colors, though?
Might be Pan-African.
Okay.
It's the Justice Department hitting 4 current
Sorry. All right.
and former Louisville Metro police officers with federal charges connected to Breonna Taylor's death. Attorney General Merrick Garland detailed these charges earlier. Take a listen.
The federal charges announced today allege that members of the Place-Based Investigations Unit falsified the affidavit used to obtain the search warrant of Ms. Taylor's home, that this act violated federal civil rights laws, and that those violations resulted in Ms. Taylor's death.
Well, here to break it down for us and help us is NBC News Justice and Intelligence correspondent Ken Delaney. And Ken, talk to us about the other major takeaways from the Attorney General's announcement right now. And what do you make of this timing?
Good morning, Vicki. This is an incredibly consequential set of charges in a case that really roiled the nation. Recall that.
Oh, my God. Did the Biden administration do this?
To distract from?
To get more support.
From black women?
People. I forgot Garland is a Biden pick. Did they hold this off on purpose?
Might have did.
That's my point. I think they might have held this off for 2 years.
So when it came to time for the midterm
big
election,
judge could drop the damn ace on them.
They dropping all dimes
They trying to drop everything they got,
and they gonna lose.
They dropping everything.
It don't matter what they pull out their ass. They're not gonna get that. They're not gonna win.
Breonna Taylor was shot by police back in 2020 after they essentially raided the wrong house based on wrong information in a warrant. Well, now what the Justice Department has come along and said is that at least 3 police officers, and a 4th was charged with other things, but 3 conspired to lie on that warrant and then mislead state, local, and federal investigators who.
They knew this 2 years ago.
So it should be a crime to lie on a report, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's a crime for me to call the police officers and file a false report. I can go to jail for that.
It's a crime to write checks. What they call when you afford a counterfeit check?
Yeah, counterfeit. Yeah. So you writing a false report, that's a crime. It's the same thing.
So it should be murder in the first degree.
See,
should not be manslaughter.
We were talking about that earlier. It can't be because I said they can't go for murder 1 because you have to prove.
I said murder in the second degree the first time.
I said I can't go. I was thinking maybe murder 1, and you like no because you have to prove intent. I was like, yeah.
Well, they falsified the document, so that was intent.
Well, they could say the same thing. They could just say it was they meant to be there, but they didn't want to kill.
No, you did everything in your power to make sure that you went to this address.
But they didn't want. They could say they never. You have to prove they wanted to kill her.
Because this drug dealer, we needed to get him off the street so bad.
Yeah, which is crazy. It's like, look, I understand. I'm not a supporter of drug dealers, but really, is it really? Unless this dude's moving, unless he's a kingpin moving crazy ways.
And I guarantee you, he was a low level drug.
Like
he was not the big. He was not the top.
Like, all right.
Trying to get to the bottom of it. And the detective who wrote the warrant, who's already been fired by Louisville police, his name is Joshua James, and the charges say that he wrote in this March 2020 warrant application that he had verified with the U.S. Postal Inspector that Taylor's ex-boyfriend, a man police suspected of dealing drugs, received packages at her address. In fact, he had never personally verified that information. He instead relied on another officer's word that proved to be false. And what Attorney General Merrick Garland said was that those lies and that conspiracy contributed to the death of Breonna Taylor, a 26-year-old woman shot in her Louisville, Kentucky apartment.
Let me say this. The same way we can say those officers are, your actions affect other people. If the ex-boyfriend is a drug dealer, even if he never went to her, where she lived or anything, his actions affected her.
Yeah.
So in some way, he has to take, I would imagine he feels somewhat at blame for this. Because of your lifestyle, even though you can say, well, she was with him, I'm just saying, because of your lifestyle, it puts someone else in danger. But let me, and this, speaking of putting people in danger, God.
Mystical.
Rapper Mystical, accused of rape, denied bond by judge. This is his third time?
Third time. Second or third time?
I think it's his third time. He went to prison the second time he was found guilty, I guess. A Louisiana judge has refused to set any bond for rapper Mystical, who is accused of raping and choking a woman in his home outside of Baton Rouge. State District Judge Stephen Trudeau ruled on Tuesday that evidence against 51-year-old Michael Tyler, his past history of victims' fears, met the standard for holding him without bail. Tyler served 6 years in prison after pleading guilty in 2003 to sexual battery. In December 2020, prosecutors in Caddo Parish in Northwest Louisiana dropped rape and kidnapping charges that kept him jailed for 18 months. So he was twice. The first time he served,
so he paid that off the first time.
He first 6 years. Second time he did 18 months in jail. But I guess they ended up dropping the charges, the kidnapping and rape charges. Third time, now he's been charged. Look, let me say this.
Is this like a fantasy he does?
Hold on, let me say this. I know people who have lied about this. And I do know that in some certain circumstances, if you're a dude who has a certain background, criminal background, that there are women who will lie on you because of your criminal history to control you somewhat. But when you get accused 3 times I don't know, bruh.
Yeah.
I think at that point, I think it's time for you to get. As I said I responded to this on Twitter. I was like, I think it's time for you to get sent home. You can't be put in that position constantly.
No.
How you keep getting put in the same position.
That means he's doing it.
Either you dealing with the most toxic line women, or you just a toxic.
Or the industry is after his ass.
Sicko. That could be a part of it, but either you a sicko or you have a bad.
Didn't you say that? And he signed with Death Row?
I don't know if he
Is it
signed with Death Row.
Mystical?
I think he might be signed Death Row.
He can't release music or something.
No, that was what's his name from North Carolina?
Oh, that's Petey Pablo.
That's Petey Pablo. We got to quit. Suge Knight was like, you ain't doing it no more.
The industry might be after his ass too, but I'm not trying to cover for him.
3.
He's a sexual deviant who is clearly
sick in the head.
Yep.
He was not convicted of any other charges, including marijuana. He was not convicted of other charges, including marijuana possession and misdemeanor domestic violence that have been brought up against him since the mid-1990s. The newspaper reported. Defense attorney Roy Morgan Jr., who has asked for a $250,000 bond, maintained that Tyler is innocent in the most recent charges, including rape and domestic abuse, battery by strangulation. But he told the newspaper after the hearing that Tyler probably won't appeal the bond ruling. He tried unsuccessfully to get the court to record to reflect that Tyler made all of his court dates in the cases, and as a celebrity would have a hard time evading capture if he fled. He had been released on $3 million bond in February 2019, nearly 2 years before the Cotto Pairs charges were dropped. Mystical. Troubled people, man. Troubled people. All right. Now we're going to talk about this marijuana. Flashy NYC Bishop robbed $1 million bizarrely reenacts jury heist at services. I'm just going to go back to this for a quick second. So he ended up reenacting the jury heist. And the reason why I'm talking about this because there's something that I meant to say last week that I just forgot to show it. Basically, I think this is scripted to get attention. We said we think he was a hustler, and I wanted to show this one right here. Brooklyn pastor pleads for sympathy in wake of sermon robbery, won't discuss debts. Bishop Lamar Whitehead declines to speak with the city's count on parishioners who alleged he biked her out of $90K or about another $355,000 a judge ruled and owes the New Jersey business. So when you go down, he owes $4.5 million mortgages for properties in Hartford, Connecticut. New Jersey court property records show that Pyramid Homes itself is tied to yet another ongoing effort to collect on a debt. In May 2021, a judge in Bergen County Superior Court approved a judgment against Whitehead for more than $335,000 after a family-owned development business based in Hackensaw sued over what alleged was money he owed them in connection to their 2019 sale to Whitehead of their $1.6 million new home. The lawsuit filed in November 2020 by Social Construction USA alleges that Whitehead fraudulently persuaded the New Jersey-based company to issue him a short-term loan of $126,000 and to accept a business check for $164,000. Basically, this dude, he owed a lot of money. He's in a lot of debt. He's a hustler.
To wrap it up, yeah.
I just want to finish it off because last week I meant to show this. I'm pretty strong on that. He's obviously some type of hustler. All right, this is just a quick one.
He's trying to get money back. He probably had insurance on that jewelry and probably be able to pay off some of the debt that he owes to all these people.
Yeah. And matter of fact, he might be lying about how much the jewelry is worth. They can't prove how much
it's worth. Is it even real?
Exactly. He could say it's worth $1 million, but it's not. I kept saying, who walks around in church with $1 million worth of jewelry?
Somebody who
lied about what it was worth.
Or somebody who had planned to have a fake heist, fake robbery,
get the insurance money. Film Academy member Jeff Cooper sentenced to 8 years in prison for molesting a child.
Are we surprised?
How you only get 8 years for that?
You should get, what, isn't it 16, 20 years?
Well,
I don't think they do life on molestation.
Well, we can't say what you really should do to these type of people.
Well, you're supposed to take them out to the back and
back of the barn. But 8 years is like,
put him down.
This is crazy. All right, Alex Jones ordered to pay $45 million more over Sandy Hook lies.
Well, Alex Jones has come out and confessed that his family is connected to the CIA. They actually reached out to him and asked him if he wanted to be a part of their.
Now, we don't know if he was just being.
I think he's being serious.
He also said that his grandfather, who's German, was a part of the. Yeah, it's some deep stuff he said. He basically trying to say his family's intelligence.
So if he want, this is a storyline though, but if he wanted to simply get out of this, he could just go along with the.
But how this happened is, his lawyer, quote unquote, accidentally sent 2 years worth of text messages about Sandy Hook to the lawyer of the families that's suing him.
There was no accident.
So the judge asked him in the court, "Do you have any more information on this?" He said, "No." "Do you have any more text messages, anything?" He said, "No." But then his lawyer accidentally, quote unquote, gave it to the damn family's lawyer. And you go, how do you accidentally do that?
You don't accidentally do that. You intentionally do that.
So is he an asset?
He's an asset.
For who?
Who? Alex Jones?
I'm saying about who? Who you think he's an asset for? We can easily say CIA. That's what he's attached himself to. But is it? We do know he has a business, what do you call it? Passport, not a passport, business, or what's we call it, to Russia. I'm not saying he's KGB.
A visa?
Yeah. Or something like that. I forgot what it's called.
It's normally a visa.
So
that's what America calls it.
I don't know. He clearly works with somebody. He said remember he said he was getting $90 million a month?
Well then hell, if he's getting $9 million a month, this $45 million is easy to pay off.
But he said anything over $2 million would break him. Is this another was he used to peddle? You know how you got those people that mix lies with truth? Those people have always existed in media. The people who will mix the truth with lies so everything can seem believable. He says a lot of stuff that comes to pass that's true, but he also says stuff that's bullshit. Who was using him to peddle information?
Don't know.
It seems like he was being used as a what's the word?
A pawn?
Yeah. Somebody who goes against the narrative. The main narrative they push is this, but they have someone else that'll say the opposite.
Or he was used as a distraction.
Maybe that too. But yeah. So he might get hit with perjury as well, which means he should be looking at prison, right?
Pretty much.
WNBA star Griner sentenced to 9 years in Russian jail for drug smuggling. Speaking of prison, now this led to a big uproar. People saying, "How could she get 9 years for this?" And the first thing I said is, "Oh, this means she's getting out." That means the reason why they gave her 9 years in prison is to make the Biden administration accept the deal to give them that gun smuggler. So if you don't give us that gun smuggler, she's gonna be over here for 9 years in prison. They gave her the strongest sentence they can give her. But also it tells me that more than likely they're gonna get Brittney Griner back around midterm voting time. You hear me?
Yeah.
They're gonna get her back around midterm voting time. More than likely.
So was this another story? They're using black women too.
Yeah.
But I thought the Hispanics and the Latinos was their new voting base.
Yeah.
What happened to that?
That ain't really working out well for them.
So they got to go back to
Old Faithful.
They got to go back to their old thing.
Yeah. All right. Oh shit. Brittney Griner won over Russian prison guards and inmates, and they reasserted the WNBA star as she finished her trial.
Okay, she win over them?
What she's trying to say to the guards and the other inmates
liked her.
Yeah, trying to say they're trying to humanize her, and make her. Oh well, she's such a likable person that the inmates and the guards like her.
That's a man.
It's a man, baby.
Fuck the bullshit.
It's a man.
Beating around the bush. Look at that.
Yeah. What's this right here? Hold on. Now look at this. This is something that kept getting posted. Where's VP Kamala Harris for Brittney Griner? Where's the LGBTQ community for Brittney Griner? Where's the WNBA for Brittney Griner? Brittney Griner, 31-year-old American, convicted of smuggling 0.7 grams of THC into Russia on a trip to play basketball for a Russian team, sentenced to 9 years and fined 1 million rubles. Audrey Lorber, 19-year-old American found guilty of smuggling 17 grams of THC into Russia while on a family vacation, released after 2-month detention and fined 15,000 rubles.
Well, one is a athlete who they probably feel like they can get more out of her. She's going to bring more. Well, you would think the white woman would bring more attention to America because she's a white woman. You know,
But she's not a
there's a
celebrity.
thing when white women go missing. It's,
white woman,
it's a
missing white
national,
woman syndrome.
global crisis, to be quite honest with you.
Remember that girl who went missing with her boyfriend?
Every year, a white girl go missing, or every 2 years.
What's up? What was her name? Lori?
Something.
I forgot.
They were on YouTube.
Yeah.
That was a fake storyline. They killed both of them.
Yeah.
But yeah, they can get more money out of Brittney Griner than they could.
Well, clearly they're using Brittney Griner as a political pawn.
Exactly.
To get back that guns guy, which is probably not what he is. He probably is something else that's important to them. It's probably a whole other person they're asking for, but they're not going to tell you. They just give you this, they show you this face, but it's really this other dude they want that they're not willing to tell you about.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm gonna show y'all what Bootsy had to say.
Bootsy.
Let me show this. Hold on, let this load up.
How the hell this girl get 9 years for a weed pen? And the USA ain't doing nothing about it. You tell me that. If that was Taylor Swift, it'll be a peace treaty right now. It'll be a slight, they'll be drafting to go to war.
Here's the thing. I said the same thing when people were saying if it was LeBron James, they'll be fighting hard to get him back. No, they wouldn't. If it was LeBron or Taylor Swift, more famous, popular people.
He should have used that white female basketball player from Seattle.
I'm saying
for the Storms.
The more famous that if Brittney Griner was a more famous person, they would love it. They could demonize Russia even more. They can milk this story. The problem is they weren't able to gain so many. They weren't able to gain much attention on this because
she's a dyke.
Most people was like, "Who cares?" Because she's a dyke. Because you got people making an argument. Look, man, I'm not gonna feel sorry for somebody who felt like they had to go to Russia to play basketball because they were quote unquote only making $200K in America. You could live off that in America. Because the excuse they're saying is the reason why she had to go to Russia is because America don't pay female basketball players enough. And that $200K.
Well, they're paying you. They're paying you the value and the worth that you're bringing to the sport. Right?
Yeah.
For a weed pen. 9 years. What that show for black women in the United States? And the vice president, as a black woman, you supposed to be on the front line. You supposed to be on the front line to get that black woman out of jail. 9 damn years. Y'all fucked up in this world.
This nigga high.
Well, first of all, Kamala is not a black woman, so she don't give a damn. Are we gonna go into Kamala or are we gonna wait?
Go ahead.
So you got the article with Tulsa Gabbard?
No.
Okay. So y'all know that on the debate stage.
Oh, you talking about that?
Yeah, you got it?
We can wait on that.
Okay.
Yeah, it's right here. Yeah.
Okay.
I'll put it right next. Go ahead. Harris labeled hypocrite for condemning Brittney Griner jail term. Vice President Kamala Harris was accused of hypocrisy after she decried Brittney Griner's conviction by Russia on cannabis smuggling charges, despite Harris prosecuting thousands of similar marijuana possession cases in her early career as a prosecutor. Griner, 31, was sentenced on Thursday to 9 years in prison after she admitted to bringing vape cartridges containing cannabis oil into the country. WNBA says she had been prescribed the oil to help relieve pain related to her chronic injuries, and she just accidentally packed them in her luggage. The verdict was met with universal condemnation from the U.S. diplomats and government officials, led by President Biden, who called the sentence unacceptable and demanded that Russia release both Griner on a second jailed American, Paul Whelan. Now, his wife finally had to get him to say that man's name. She's like, you're not going to just keep talking about Brittney Griner. You're going to talk about my husband, too. Immediately, Harris released a separate statement on Twitter condemning Griner's conviction. She said, with today's sentencing, Russia continues the wrongful detention of Brittney Griner. She should be released immediately, Harris wrote. And I and our entire administration are working every day to reunite Brittney as well as Paul Willen with the loved ones who miss them dearly. But Harris many critics were quick to point out that while serving as both San Francisco District Attorney and California's Attorney General, he oversaw thousands of marijuana-related prosecutions as well, and was an outspoken critic of pot legalization.
But then went on the Breakfast Club talking about she was in college.
Smoking weed, listening to
Tupac. And Tupac hadn't even been born yet.
No, he was
born, but he wasn't
rapping. No.
He wasn't rapping.
Yeah. He wasn't rapping in the industry.
Not only did she do that, she kept prisoners in jail longer than they're supposed to just to keep them as putting out the damn fires in California, using them for labor.
And she was keeping back evidence.
And then we're not going to go into the truancy laws that she created.
Well, that she prosecuted,
Kamala Harris
she's a bad politician too. Like, you should have known to stay away from this story.
Anybody
with common sense would have said, "Don't say anything about the story. Just let it go."
She don't care. They don't care no more. They just say dumb shit.
Now we're gonna get into some other stories about the marijuana, how crazy this shit is, right? Now, Iman Shumpert, former NBA player, was arrested in Texas for airport for pot possession. And it became a little bit of a story. Oh, he got arrested in Texas. Shumpert was told no, arrested for felony possession of marijuana and taken to the airport jail. Tarrant County criminal court system didn't have information about the court case. The report says Shumpert also had a magazine with 14 rounds in it in his backpack, but no gun was found. A contact for Shumpert, his agent, and lawyer was not immediately available. So weed is legal. People still have been arrested for weed. This is my point. And this story right here. Ooh, boy. I don't think I showed you this one. This man right here. Mississippi man in prison for life over marijuana possession.
You're lying.
No, he got life. 3 strikes, you out.
Oh, Mississippi has a 3 strikes, you're out law too?
Yeah. He got life.
And nobody is going to...
It said on Thursday, Alan Russell, who was sentenced to life in prison on a marijuana possession charge, has lost his appeal in Mississippi highest court. According to the WLBT, the Mississippi Supreme Court ruled that Russell's life sentence was not a violation of the 8th Amendment and was in line with the state statute. Russell was handed life without parole in 2019 after being found guilty of being in possession of 43 grams of marijuana. The conviction typically would have carried an up to 3-year sentence, but Russell was given an enhanced sentence to life under the state's habitual offender rule. Russell had previously been convicted of 2 separate charges of house burglary and 1 charge for being convicted of felony of possession of a firearm. Under Mississippi Code, the judge was required to give him a life sentence upon Russell's conviction. So a burglary and gun possession. And he got life in prison for the weed.
There's a man who molested an 8-year-old.
Got 8 years.
Was he 8? I'm going by how many? Yeah, he's 8.
What?
How old was the kid? 8?
Well, no, I think the girl was...
He was convicted of molestation.
Little girl. Yeah.
And he got 8 years.
This dude, for having weed, got life because 3 strikes. And guess who did the 3 strikes, y'all? Joe Biden. That's your 3 strikes, man. And funny because Mississippi, Alabama, they're known for being like, if you go to jail in Alabama, Mississippi, like you might not come home.
So nobody gonna step in and
he done.
Help this man?
He done. 3 strikes. That's it. I'm saying this because this dude got life for weed, but it's legal. And a lot of states.
In certain states, it's legal.
But the fact that it can be legal in one state and not in another is crazy.
Well, because it's based. Well, do you want it to be a national thing?
I know each state has its own government.
So that's going to tie into other things.
I know, but I'm just saying that's crazy.
He should have left Mississippi a long time ago.
I could say he should have left the weed alone too. But damn,
if you want to sell weed or you want weed that bad, go to a state where the weed is legal. We gotta start being smart and having a mentality of if we want to do certain things,
make sure
we gotta go to a place where those certain things are allowed.
Yeah. FBI raised St. Louis Black Liberation Group alleging Russian ties. Chairman of African People's Socialist Party says he visited Russia for a conference but had no further involvement.
African People's Social Party.
Well, you gotta remember most Pan-Africanists are socialists. They believe in rainbow coalitions, which is funny because they're globalists. You would think you hear the word Pan-African is pro-black, Pan-African.
Well, are they black globalists? If they're globalists?
No, they're globalists. They're the same kumbaya. They kumbaya people.
Then why call yourself a black African People's Socialist Party when you want to be involved with and socialize and include every race under the sun?
Because they believe in equality. Which is what I want to say.
There's no such thing as equality.
Exactly. Why do black people, we're the only people that want equality. Why don't we ever want to win? Why don't we want to win?
Because we've been held down for so long that we've forgotten who we were, because when we were empowered, there wasn't equality either. There was a status, certain levels to everything, just like when any society is leading. There's never going to be equality. Somebody's always going to be on top, and there's always going to be a group going to be on the bottom. And nobody wants to be on the bottom.
And that's why they fight to get away from your ass. Federal investigators raided the offices and homes of leaders involved with the local Black Liberation Group under suspicion of Russian collusion earlier Friday morning. Now, when I read this initially, I was like, oh, we back in the Red Scare. We right back under McCarthy when he was going around accusing every politician, every actor of being a communist, which he was right in a lot of instances. A lot of them were communists. They were just hiding it. But now we right back there. Now we right back in a Cold War. This is not really a Cold War. World War III already kicked off. It kicked off like 2 years ago. like 2 years ago. But we're right back there now. So how many people are they going to accuse of being Russian? So I saw something that said that if you say something about Russia, in certain places in Europe especially, you can be accused of being a collaborator if you say something positive about Russia against Ukraine. And it's like, this is where we are now, where I can't have an opinion?
Not on the internet, unfortunately.
Officials of the Euro Solidarity Movement of African People's Socialist Party say the FBI performed a violent raid with flash grenades and drones around 5 a.m. Friday morning. At the news conference Friday, Chairman Amali said he and his wife were handcuffed during the raid as investigators searched their home. He said the FBI threw flash grenades into his home to perform a raid without knocking or showing him a search warrant. He said the FBI believed that Euro movement and African People's Socialist Party may somehow be involved in Russia's tampering in U.S. elections. What? Why do they keep saying that Russia is manipulating black people? How they tell you all the time they think you're dumb, that you can be influenced by a post on Facebook, Twitter. This is crazy. What they have claimed is that they are indicting someone, a Russian nationalist who is in Russia. They have claimed that we're investigating the African People's Socialist Party, and it led to the Euro movement because of some association that we might have with the Russian government. The raid appears connected to one of the St. Petersburg, Florida, that occurred around the same time Friday morning. Reports that federal law enforcement in St. Petersburg police performed a search at multiple locations, including the Euro House of Florida, under search warrants seemingly related to an indictment against a Russian national. Lord, Lord, Lord. Let me go back here. Doesn't everybody make slides with truth? I repeat it because I believe them to be. You agree with that?
What?
Everybody makes lies with truth?
I try not to mix lies with truth. I try to
I don't
tell
wanna
the
lie
truth.
to you, Regina.
Hold on, Regina and I.
Okay, Rihanna, I forgot about her DA activities. Yeah. Come on now, Regina. I ain't trying to lie to you.
We're not trying to tell you sweet lies.
Tell me lies.
Tell me sweet little lies.
Oh, Lord. All right. UN declares war on dangerous conspiracy theories the world is not secretly manipulated by the global elite. The UN has pretty much formally declared a war on misinformation, disinformation.
I thought that war was... that war has been declared since COVID-19 started.
But I'm saying they publicly coming. That was who? Now it's the UN.
I mean, Trump put it out there. Fake news.
Now this is right here. It says United Nations declared war on conspiracy theories, describing the rise of conspiracy thinking as a worrying and dangerous, and providing the public with a toolkit to pre-bunk and debunk anybody who dares to suggest that world governments are anything but completely honest, upstanding, and transparent.
Bullshit.
The UN also warns that George Soros, the Rothschilds, and the State of Israel must not be linked to any alleged conspiracy. They literally said that.
They said this out loud?
That's what I'm saying. They officially said these conspiracy theories tied to these three groups, we got to stop that.
Do you know the Rothschilds' names do not get mentioned?
The Rothschilds are Jews, which is funny because But George Soros, Rothschilds, and the State of Israel, they said must not be linked to any alleged conspiracies. Has teamed up with Twitter, the European. Remember we talked about how Twitter admitted that there were a lot of governments and stuff coming to them saying to change information, give them information to people's private life.
Let's go back to it. They're telling you that you cannot say anything about these people.
Yep.
They're saying that
not be linked.
They're saying that these people don't. The conspiracies they're putting out that you're putting out about these people are just totally untrue. It's false.
Yeah.
There's conspiracies about other groups of people too, but why these
three in particular?
Because they are the bloodline.
The European Commission of the World's Jewish Congress to launch the campaign dubbed Think Before Sharing, Stop the Spread of Conspiracy Theories. The UN wants you to know that events are not secretly manipulated behind the scenes by powerful forces with negative intent. And if you encounter anybody who thinks that globally are conspiring to consolidate power and dictate global events, you must take action. According to them, if you are certain to have encountered a conspiracy theory on the internet, then you must react immediately, post a relevant link to a fact-checking website in the comments. Now I'm gonna show the website here, the official, the UN website he's talking about.
This is one world government right here.
Yes,
controlling what everybody think, what you say.
You see here, thank you for sharing. Stop the spread of conspiracy theories. This is the official site.
Fake.
Exactly. The COVID pandemic has sparked a worrying rise in disinformation and conspiracy theories. Conspiracy theories can be dangerous. They often target and discriminate against vulnerable groups.
Who are the vulnerable groups?
Ignore scientific evidence and polarize society with serious consequences. This needs to stop.
If you think the COVID-19 pandemic has sparked worrying, wait till this monkeypox.
Yeah, conspiracy theories can cause real harm to people, to their health and also their physical safety. They amplify and legitimize misconceptions about pandemic and reinforce stereotypes which can fuel violence and violent extremist ideologies. A new campaign helps to learn how to identify, debunk, react to, and report on conspiracy theories to prevent their spread. Check out the infographics and social media pack below. Help spread the word. The facts matter, and no one is to blame. Thinking critically and being informed about conspiracy theories is key to challenging them. The last thing they want you to do is think critically. That's the last thing they want you to do, which is hilarious. They're using it here. The program is implemented jointly with the European Commission and Twitter and the World Jewish Congress. Why is Twitter has the least amount of users? Why is Twitter so powerful? It has the least amount of, it's the smallest social media platform, at least amongst the big ones. Why does it have so much power?
Because it's controlled by bots.
They went through and
they can go in and share and put out their misinformation through Twitter.
It's crazy.
Allegedly.
Well, we told you we're at the end now. Time is going by faster, as they say in the book.
It's already August.
The Earth had its shortest day in recorded history.
It's August.
On June 29th, our planet completed one rotation in 1.59 milliseconds less than 24 hours. So June 29th was not a 24-hour day. Technically.
I mean, yeah. Just like he had to cut the lifespan.
He had to cut the time.
He had to cut the days. It's getting so bad where he said we can't even have them go 24 hours. We may have to drop it to 12 hours a day just to keep it from being so much sin out here.
I ain't even gonna bother showing that one.
Do you know here in Seattle, they are literally going around and drawing pentagrams?
Yeah, you saw me the picture.
At the bus stops.
Yeah.
Like that's literally a portal.
Yeah.
They're putting portals
all over the city.
All over the city at bus stops.
Trying to go in or let something out.
They're trying to let something out. I don't stand on them.
Court blocks.
I'm gonna order some healing oil and start throwing it on and see the smoke going.
Court blocks Air Force from pursuing unvaccinated troops seeking religious waivers. They still fight.
That's a win.
Small win for them, at least. Small win for them.
Every win counts. They won a battle, but they damn sure ain't won the war.
Yeah, they definitely ain't letting up on them. All right. Biden administration declares monkeypox a public health emergency. Let me tell y'all something. Trevor been scared.
You know why I'm scared? Because when that woman said she got that case.
What woman?
That when the first woman that came out and said she had monkeypox.
Oh yeah.
And there was a dude in the comment section, and I agree with his comment. He said, "Y'all are out here doing this, and then you're gonna pass it on to other people." And sure enough, it's not just through. It's if you touch a towel, if you touch something, clothes, anything. So what if you in somebody's space and they just
brush against
you on the bus? They brush up against you. Mind you, nobody should be standing that close to you today brushing up against you because you just give them the look like, get the fuck back.
Oh, now you want that 6 feet?
I've been wanting the 6 feet. Nobody sits next to me when I'm on Metro.
All right. The U.S. reported the biggest increase in monkeypox cases globally last week, according to the World Health Organization. The Biden administration on Thursday sounded the alarm on the monkeypox outbreak, declaring a public health emergency. We're prepared to take our response to the next level in addressing this virus, and we urge every American to take monkeypox seriously, to help us tackle this virus. Department of Health and Human Services Secretary Xavier Becerra told reporters on Thursday.
They're gonna take it just as serious as they took it in the 80s with the other thing.
Monkeypox is disproportionately affecting black. They changed to Hispanic, didn't they? I thought
it was black and brown.
Yeah, they changed to Hispanic.
Wow. You see how they be changing shit in the articles?
Well, it said it was updated at 4:55.
They changed it from black to Hispanic. It was brown people.
Well, they said it didn't. Yeah, they said they did this yesterday. I could have sworn it said Latino. Maybe that was yesterday. I put
it said black and brown.
I don't know. Monkeypox is disproportionately affecting black Hispanic people. Latest CDC breakdown shows.
Now,
a detailed analysis of monkeypox case records published by the U.S. Center for Disease Control and Prevention on Friday offers new insight into the outbreak, which is disproportionately affecting men who have sex with men, especially those who are black and Hispanic. I've never heard them say black and Hispanic. They always said black and brown. There were 2,891 cases of monkeypox reported in the United States by July 22nd. About 2 months after the country's first case was reported, cases report forms with additional epidemiologic clinic information while submitted to the CDC. 41% of those cases throughout, not all details were complete in all those forms. It's always
black people are always the face of anything that's negative.
This is crazy, and they get it out early.
And who have they been making the face of monkeypox?
White men.
Caucasian men have been the face of monkeypox every time there's an interview. Now, this really pissed me off. Why they have to go get this picture and put this black man?
As monkeypox strikes gay men, officials debate warnings to limit partners. Sex is a major driver of the global outbreak, but health officials and longtime HIV activists say calls for abstinence don't work.
It's funny how they can link the two together, but you can't say it on here.
You can't.
We can't even utter the two in the same sentence.
Thousands of gay men clad in leather, latex, and often much less, partied alongside Folsom Street here last weekend during the annual Kink and Fetish Festival.
Kinky.
Even after the city had just declared the monkeypox outbreak striking its gay community, a health emergency, one day after the World Health Organization urged men to sleep with fewer men to reduce transmission, San Francisco public health officials made no attempt to rein in festivals or warn attendees to have less sex.
They the real hoes.
Huh?
They the real hoes. Multiple.
So they basically said they won't stop having these
orgies.
Yeah.
We're trying to put a cap.
He said no dark room, sex parties, no orgies, and they won't stop. So now for 2 years, they stopped your kids from going to school. They shut down cities, shut down the country.
Work remotely.
Work from home. But you telling these people just don't have orgies.
If there's a certain amount of people on the bus would just pull off and ride past you and leave you. It says bus full.
But they can't stop them from doing this.
They can't stop them for a bunch of pounds.
They won't tell them, hey, you need to go without for a couple months.
They won't tell them, hey, y'all need to stop playing in y'all ass. This shit is out here spreading, and we're trying to make sure the other demographics and population don't get this. We're trying to contain it. And they're like, no, we're going to continue in our lust We don't care who gets it, just like the thing in the 80s. We don't care who it takes out.
Have monkeypox? CDC advises no sex, but says masturbation 6 feet apart or virtual sex reduce risk.
That is their solution, opposed to lockdown.
CDC says having sex with clothes on is another way to reduce. What is going on? This is the CDC.
Having sex with clothes on.
This is the CDC.
You know, they didn't say they didn't have all these solutions for COVID-19. It was a simple solution. Social distance.
Has recommended that anyone with monkeypox abstain from sex. However, the CDC also provided a range of ways to reduce the risk of transmitting the. So basically, you got to ask the question again: is this an STD?
This is a rhetorical question you're asking, right? You don't want it to be answered.
They said that they have not classified it as that.
We're not going to answer it. People in the comment section, y'all can answer it. Do y'all see it as a sexual transmitted disease? Because we can't answer this question.
After the COVID lockdowns, Twitter outrage at report that officials won't stop sex parties to prevent monkeypox.
This is in San Francisco, by the way.
A new Washington Post report indicated officials are more restrained in preventing monkeypox than COVID. So they went through, you had a lot of people on Twitter saying, you know, they forced everyone to be part of their dying parents and grandparents in hospital, banned travel, and forced kids out of school and in Zoom calls, but men who have sex with men can't cool it for 2 weeks?
Nope.
You see, yeah, you bigots, we don't want to do things that won't work. Instead, let's pretend that everyone is in the risk and shut down the economy. The government ruined the economy for 2 years for a virus with a 99% survival rate. So the conservatives, I won't even say conservatives, just people with that opinion, there's more than just conservatives saying the same thing, are like, wait, so you will shut down the country for COVID, but this thing is at the early, with the precipice. This is the beginning of it.
Supposed to get it under a handle right now.
You won't do what's necessary now.
So should they go on a lockdown? Should we be put on a lockdown?
No, people who are not.
Well, let's
people who are less likely to get it shouldn't have to lock down.
Okay,
we know who's more likely to get it.
Or how are they going to do this?
What you mean?
How are they going to determine who should be on a?
No,
we know who they are.
No kink and whatever festivals. How about that?
Okay, we don't have the kink and festival thing, but how do we prevent them from doing that?
What you mean doing what? Shut down the that's the point. The festivals and stuff, the clubs, shut that stuff down.
All clubs.
Last year, when you saw a sporting event, anything with a large crowd, they called it a super spreader event.
So you're saying just shut down those type of clubs and those type of environments.
That's where it's spreading at. This is what the CDC is saying.
But you don't think they're gonna go to other environments and try to do that stuff in other environments?
Other environments, there's a reason why they got their own environment, for a reason, because other environments don't want them around.
But they may start intruding into these other environments if their environments
because there's a reason why they got their own.
So they're gonna start doing stuff.
Look, man,
in the alleys,
shut it down.
in the streets.
The same reason why they shut down the economy for COVID, just do it with that. It's simple.
I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm just playing out the scenarios of.
They can do what they want to do. You shut it down, they still go do some other stuff. They tell you what's wrong with them. Stop what they call it. Stop the quote unquote super spreader events. That's what they called it.
Yeah.
Gay men are lining up as early as 2 a.m. for monkeypox vaccine. Many leave empty-handed.
You know why they lining up at early as 2 a.m.? Because they've been out there since 10, and they just getting out of their club at 2 a.m.
The line begins to form before sunrise outside Zuckerberg San Francisco General Hospital, with some people arriving as late as 2 a.m., bringing fold-up chairs and blankets to protect against the Bay Area's overnight chill. They told y'all still having these festivals and stuff, though.
That should tell you that that's a spirit on you.
So I think I have monkeypox.
To do something. And you know that it's going to cause this outcome, but the urge is so strong that you can't just say, no, I'm not going to do this because I'm going to get this. This is going to lead to this. But they like, fuck it, we'll just get the vaccine after we do this.
I think I have monkeypox. I'm in the hospital now. I'm trying to figure out what's going on. If it's monkeypox or if it's just a blister or something. But look. It's that the inside of my lip is red. But and then my throat. Look.
I'm not gonna show this part because it looks disgusting. So it's another one with it. He said how he got it. He don't know. He said he don't do nothing sexual to get it, so he don't know how he got it.
Well, he's the first black man I've seen that has come out and said he had
I don't know.
And now you got this white female.
Yeah, the first one we saw was a black sister, unfortunately.
Hers looked bad.
Yeah.
Hers looked worse than this one, actually.
Thinks I have monkeypox. I got bumps on my body like this, and on this, my face swollen. I can't eat. I can only drink. So I'm doing protein drinks, yogurt pudding, and just letting it slide down like a drink. My face is swollen on this. I don't know what it looks like on the inside of my mouth, but I can't even brush my teeth. I can't eat. I could barely talk. I'm gonna cry, bro. And look, they think it's monkeypox, so they did a test. It comes back in 24 hours. But if that shit not monkeypox, they don't know what the fuck wrong with me. Like what? You know where you caught it. You know? So I have no idea where I caught it or how I caught it. But I do know that the bumps appeared on me when I was at the beach. And when I say that, people will be like, oh, well, they took a couple days to appear. Well, I'm just telling you when I noticed it.
So you were at the beach when you saw the notice. I mean, you spread it to somebody else.
Everybody that was around her on that beach should be contacted and told.
The maids.
Huh?
The roommates. They had to touch her towels and stuff.
The bed sheets?
She probably gave them.
Because that's why I tell you, it's not just through sexual contact. It's also through clothing, towels, sheets.
She probably gave them.
That's the scary part.
She gave those roommates monkeypox.
Unless, the housekeeper starts dressing up in the hazard suits now. Or they just had grace on them.
I don't know.
So when they get somebody from monkeypox, like, I'm not going in that bitch.
No.
I'm not even.
First of all, I can
goodbye, peace,
I can always
motherfucker.
guarantee you that even the doctors and surgeons don't want to do that. They don't want to come in contact with it.
No.
Cause I don't think you're gonna have to have surgery.
Mm-mm.
And whatever the hell you have, you're gonna have to wait till that shit go away. And even after you have it, till it goes away, you need to fucking be in a isolated area by yourself for at least 60 days. So make sure that shit out your system, man. It might come back or something. You never know. Because if you got monkeypox, we are no longer fucking friends or none of that shit. It's over. I don't even hang with no fucking monkey, so I shouldn't be getting them from one.
Oh, can you? Whoa! Can you imagine all y'all out there who like to smoke blunts?
Oh yeah, passing the blunts.
Oh, and let them roll the blunt, all the
Well, they
saliva.
don't do that anymore. They use machines now, I think. I don't think they do it with
Or y'all who like to let people drink behind y'all? I ain't never did that. I ain't drinking behind you.
All right. Mexico City residents angered by influx of Americans speaking English gentrifying area report.
Wow.
So we saw last week, we showed an article that white Americans were moving to Europe. Now they're moving to Mexico City.
Oh, Canelo Alvarez.
And the Mexican, listen, this is crazy. This is crazy how ironic this is. The Mexicans are complaining about the white people coming in, changing the language.
But we've been having to deal with stuff in Espanol and English for how many years?
The Los Angeles Times report on Wednesday outlined how some Mexican locals are fed up with the growing number of Americans, many from California, moving to and visiting the country, which has contributed to the rise of rent and the shift from Spanish to English in some places. New to the city, working remotely, flyers popping up around Mexico City reportedly say, "You are effing plague and the locals can hate you. Leave."
But when y'all not, you know what? It's gotten so bad to even like I have been filling out applications in North Carolina because a lot of them places. This is in North Carolina, by the way.
Yeah, bilingual.
They said their preference is
multilingual language. Wow.
And then the preference is in Spanish. And I'm like, this is North Carolina, and y'all telling me that you would prefer for me to speak both languages? In North Carolina.
North Carolina. Wow.
This ain't Seattle we talking about. Even in Seattle, they don't have down their preference. So, how many Mexicans are in North Carolina now since
They
they
tell
left?
you it's an influx there. Growing up, there was some there, but
Damn, was
never
Abbott also making a stop in North
Sitting in
Carolina
Mexico?
before he got to D.C.?
sitting in North Carolina. Look at this. California could cut water from farms with the rest of America like food shortages.
They ain't gonna have no choice pretty soon.
We already been talking about the water shortage going on in California.
You know what the problem is? America tries to produce products that are out of season in the winter.
Yeah.
In the winter, you should not be getting strawberries and watermelon and blueberries and stuff. That's in May, June, July, August.
Yeah.
But because
harvest.
Americans want what
Oh,
they
you're right.
want,
when they want it,
they are actually causing the water shortage. They should have stopped that shit a long time ago.
I am so shocked and saddened by the comments from Midwesterners regarding California water shortage, and I felt compelled to respond. Evidently, many in the Midwest are unaware the bulk of California's water is used as for agriculture, not lawns, golf courses, or thirsty people. The food grown and raised in California is sent all over the country. It doesn't just stay here in California. And the ocean is one piece of the puzzle to provide water for the West Coast. However, it is very expensive and could make more food growth with unaffordable for the average American. California could cease to grow food for the country, and then we would have enough water for our own residents. Are Midwesterners ready for the nationwide food shortage that will ensue? So he's saying people are complaining about the water
Why can't
usage. And he's saying, well, if we just start growing food for the rest of the country, we'll have enough water.
I'm about to say that. Why doesn't every state grow the food that produces in your state?
Well, because some places don't grow as well.
Well,
as
you
some.
wouldn't. Well, in North Carolina, you get yams, you get potatoes, you
Eat what's
get
in
your
your
collard
state.
greens, your
Eat what's in your
kale.
state. What you saying?
Eat what's in your state. You still have your beef, your chicken, and all that stuff if you want to eat it. It's just certain produce you won't be able to get because it doesn't grow in that state. If oranges don't grow in that state, then you don't get no damn oranges. If you like oranges so much, then take your ass to Florida, California.
Or order them individually?
Huh?
Or order individually.
What do you mean order individually? Like
Instead
order
of-
offline?
Yeah.
How you
Instead
gonna
of-
get it?
Have it delivered. What you mean?
Deliver food through the mail?
They're doing it. What you mean?
What food get delivered through the mail?
So
Produce.
how you think Florida oranges get across the world, get across the country?
Florida oranges get across the country because they have a production that does
That's what I'm
it.
saying. You just order individually.
Well, what's the difference between that versus just ordering and giving it to everybody? No. You get what you grow, what you get in your state. That's it.
All right. Oh, shit.
That's going to cost more money to do it individually versus doing it bulk and just giving it to the whole state.
I was saying you do it individually so that anybody who wants it, you got to pay for it. You got to use the expense.
So we got to keep going back and forth and out and giving it to different
the
people.
expenses on that individual person.
And when these people see these expenses, they're not going to order it.
Months. Exactly.
So then let's just stick to what
Anybody
I'm
who
saying.
order it, they can afford it.
No.
Okay.
If it don't grow in your state, you don't get it.
All right. This is what they had to say about the shortages.
Later that they're still seeing limited or at least little to no improvement in their access to baby formula, and market research shows that shortages remain right now. So to those families, has the administration done enough to solve this problem?
So as you know, this is a priority for us. We understand what families are going through, caregivers, moms and dads, grandparents, and we have done the work, and we'll continue to do the work to make sure that families have safe baby formula so that they can feed their kids. This continues to be a priority for us. This has not gone away, and we do understand that there's a lot more work to do, but we want families to know and understand this is an administration that cares about them, that cares about the safety of their children, and we're going to continue to do the work.
So they recognize that the administration cares. It's a point that you guys have made before. What do you say to those families that when right now the shortage rate, according to data, is between the out-of-stock rate is something between 20 and 30%. So when will it be resolved?
Look, we're doing the work every day.
She
couldn't say we do. She's about to say we've done a lot.
She's about to say that.
But she couldn't say a lot because she know they haven't done
shit.
Shit.
So she kind of just
backed off and say, I ain't gonna tell no lies.
We'll just say a lot. We want to say a lot. This is more of the shortages going on. American West faces water and power shortages due to climate crisis, UN Environment Agency.
Has anybody ever asked Why does the West Coast look like it look? It's almost as if that's supposed to be like the bottom of the ocean or something.
Well, yeah, it used to be water over there, but also the reason why, remember,
that's all the ocean.
When they been giving away, when America was giving away all that land to get people to move west, this is what they were moving into. This is why they were giving them land, because we're moving you into the damn wilderness. We're moving you into a damn desert. We'll give you land and help and pay to help you establish stuff over there.
This is all supposed to be water.
So, yeah.
It's funny that the very thing that's supposed to be water is all dried up and it's no longer no water there.
So now I told you the power shortages, they're going to start talking about that soon. Now, what power shortages is going on in America? I thought America was self-sufficient. It's more than enough power to go
I've been
around.
talking shit about, Africa.
Yeah, now your lights going to start flickering.
And instead of, they be like, well, ours only go out for 14 hours, but y'all only get it for 1 hour a day. My, has the tables turned.
So now they're saying power shortages are coming to, at least they said California, or at least the West, should I say. So they probably include Nevada and stuff in that as well. Let me see what this one is. Oh yeah, here, Biden Energy Secretary.
You know what?
Now this is what this energy thing is all about.
These upward spiraling prices of fossil fuels are exactly why we have to transition to a clean economy. Because, my counterpart in Ireland, Minister Ryan, often says, no country has ever been held hostage to access to the sun or access to the wind. So let's build our own energy security, all of us, at home, so that we are not held hostage. You know what?
It's all about going green.
I told you about it. They've already set time frames of what country is supposed to be, or states. Because the United States it just named some states.
Mm-hmm.
I think New York, California, and a couple other are supposed to go electric cars only.
Well, also, if I'm not mistaken, the fleet of Secret Service vehicles is supposed to go electric vehicles. The president's Secret Service.
Well, it should. If the president wants to have green, then he should be riding in stuff that is green.
Let me show this right here.
False promotion here. Sean, I really want to go after this bill in the way that just people need to understand. The International Energy Agency, which is a big international group of folks who have a lot of power. In July, they put out a supply chain report for electric vehicles. This is what the world's going to need just to meet 2030 goals. We're going to need, the world, 50 more lithium mines, 60 more nickel mines, 17 more cobalt mines. So these mines come from, the cobalt comes from Congo. You ever see videos of those kids, 7-year-old kids in filthy water for about 8 hours a day, 12 hours a day, no education, pennies on the dollar. The lithium, some comes from Australia, some comes from Chile. You got to poison the waters to get it out of there. Some comes from Russia. Indonesia, you got the nickel. And the reason I'm bringing this up is there are 5 stages to getting from the raw material to the finished product. So when we talk about saving, just think if you were, even if you love the climate issue itself, the president is lying to you. This bill does nothing on the climate side. What it means is that we're going to continue to strip mine the planet. We're going to strip mine the planet and poison the waters. So as you go along through the process, you got the materials, you start to process it. Russia takes a greater share. China takes a greater share. Then you do the cell.
Now, the point I want to take from that is when he pointed out the cobalt, how they need more. Well, remember what Biden did just a few weeks ago when he declared that they will be giving $200 million global infrastructure push to counter China and Africa. 200 billion, I'm sorry. So is he trying to put a foothold there in Africa so he can get those resources that can push this green energy shit?
Yes. And he's also sending what? A black military guy over there?
Yeah, the first 4-star general?
Yep.
What's that? You can answer right quick. But yeah, $200 billion government infrastructure. This clearly is a push for them to get the material they need to push for this green energy shit. it's always about being the first to do something and having power in some level. If you get control of the new power, the new way of getting energy, if you control that industry, you're gonna be the new superpower. And America wants to stay the superpower.
Mm-hmm.
Biden big selling point for the new big spending bill, the IRS. Remember when we talked about how the Biden said he's gonna put more money into the IRS so that they can do more audits, and how they're gonna be watching people
bank accounts,
anything over is it 800? Any expense over 800 or something like that?
No, it wasn't it $60 or $100? It was way lower than that.
Maybe you're right. So now they're now doubling the IRS hires, so more people are going to be audited. They're trying to get every dollar out of your account that they can get. Lordy, Lord. All right, let me do this right quick. Hold on.
Kifa. Is that how you pronounce her name? Go back up.
How you doing, Kifa?
I think there's more above her.
This thing is not loading all the comments, I don't think. This is Regina.
Sweet Little Lies.
You guys for platform, your wealth of knowledge reminds me of Dr. Greg Carr and Karen Hunt's show. Okay, thank you very much. Yes, STD is the way it's being promoted. Yeah. Talking about monkeypox. That's exactly how it's being promoted. Cat Dog Cat Agency claims first case of monkeypox was in 1970, but no mention of link to STD.
That's because I've said this. When they talk about Africa, they don't talk about nothing about it being sexual.
Yeah.
The little kids have it.
Adults have
it. Grandparents have it. You don't have to be doing anything sexual to get that. So why is it so when it came to America that it became sexual?
All right, hold on for a second.
No, I'm...
Okay. But yeah, you're right. It's not really considered a sexual thing here in America. I mean, sorry, it's considered more sexual in America. At least that's how they're selling it to the media. They going after one particular group, saying that they need to slow down with the activities in order to slow it down, and they ain't willing to do it.
They ain't gonna slow it down. They're gonna speed it up.
All right. Hold on. China, U.S. allies divided over Pelosi Taiwan visit. So this is a big deal. First, I'm gonna go to this story right here before I go to. You can go to that. U.S. lawmaker Walorski, 2 staffers die in Indiana car crash. So let me just show this right quick.
Congresswoman Jackie Walorski and 2 of her staff members died on Wednesday, and her staffers on Wednesday was U.S. Congresswoman Jackie Walorski and 2 of her staff members died on Wednesday in a car crash in her home state of Indiana. News of her death prompted an outpour of condolences from her Republican and Democratic colleagues in Congress, as well as President Joe Biden. Police in Indiana said the car carrying the Congresswoman and her staffers on Wednesday was hit head-on by another vehicle which veered into their lane. Walorski was elected to the House of Representatives in 2012, served on the House Ways and Means Committee, and as the top Republican on the Subcommittee for Worker and Family Support. In a statement, House Speaker Nancy Pelosi said that Walorski, quote, passionately brought the voices of her North Indiana constituents to the Congress and was admired by colleagues on both sides of the aisle for her personal kindness.
Now, a car just veered into the lane head on and killed her and 2 staffers. I didn't get a chance to dive into who this woman is. But I just got a sneaky feeling.
This is straight out of House of Cards playbook.
So if I look this woman up, she's gonna be tied to something.
That reminded me of episode of House of Cards. Somebody wouldn't play or wouldn't do what they was told to do, and
yeah, something happened.
Something led to something.
China, U.S. Allies divided over Pelosi Taiwan visit. So Pelosi. She went to Taiwan. She did a rambling speech, but she didn't say shit. This is clearly a play they was doing. Don't know what reason yet. This might be another reason why they did this. So she left. China did nothing. After she left and landed in America, they started shooting rockets over Taiwan and throwing a temper tantrum.
Why they didn't shoot rockets over Taiwan when she was there?
Because Pelosi was in I think she was in a government plane, jet. So if they would have attacked that jet, it would have been a declaration of war on America.
But don't they want that smoke?
Apparently they don't. So after she left, they did all this other stuff. They started doing their little military drills and stuff. Now they're saying that Taiwan. What if Pelosi going to Taiwan, and everybody pretty much was unanimously saying this was something she shouldn't have did. This is causing more tension. What if this is the excuse China needed to invade Taiwan now? Now they can say, "Oh, we invaded because Pelosi."
Well, they're throwing all type of different scenarios out there. They're saying that China is planning an attack like Pearl Harbor on America.
Yeah. And so they just didn't do nothing to her.
Yeah, because I was downtown getting off work the other day, and I forgot that they have every year they have the Blue Jets.
Yeah.
And it was cloudy the other day, so you can't really see what's in the sky, and the planes were so low. I was like, "Oh Lord, they go get us!" And everybody else, they were looking at me like I was crazy. They probably knew that it was the Blue Jets. They doing their thing. They let them do it this year, and I kept saying, "What? Nobody's saying this."
Looking around like, y'all motherfuckers think I'm saying shit.
They were like, "What a weirdo!" Fucking grown ass man afraid of planes. Jesus,
like,
get a grip.
They know some shit going on in the world. I'm worried about some stuff going on around here. Taiwan official leading missile production died of heart attack. Let me read that again. Taiwan official leading missile production died of heart attack. Now, you know in America they got this thing called a heart attack gun. I'm going to leave it right there. But the deputy head of Taiwan Defense Ministry Research and Development Unit was found dead on Saturday morning in a hotel room, succumbing to a heart attack, according to the official Central News Agency. Yang, deputy head of the military-owned National Chongqing Institute of Science and Technology, had died in a hotel room in southern Taiwan. Authorities said 57-year-old Yang died of a heart attack in the hotel room, showed no sign of any intrusion. CNA said his family said that he had a history of heart disease and had cardiac stent. Yang was on a business
Oh, that was a perfect setup. He had already been dealing with that.
Heart problems, yeah. Yang was a business trip in southern country of Pingtung, CNA said, adding that he had assumed the post earlier this year, was supervised various missile production projects. The military-owned body is working to more than double its yearly missile production capacity to close to 500 this year, as the island boosts its combat power and what it sees as China's growing military threat.
Oh, by the way, Biden still has COVID-19.
Listen what I'm about to say.
It's been how many weeks? Is this the third or the second week?
Oh, yeah, he tested positive again. Hold on, let me say this. Pelosi went to Taiwan. Their leading military missile producer died. We immediately gonna think China did it. But Pelosi the one who went to Taiwan.
You all tell us what your views are in the comment section.
Did America do this?
Allegedly.
Possibly. To aid.
I'm not saying nothing.
Like, remember, all I know is Hillary Clinton went to what's that country? Libya? Liberia? Which one of that? Libya, I think it was.
Libya.
And it was tore up very, very soon after she went there.
Well, Obama was the one that did that, didn't he? Okayed it?
That was mainly Nancy. I ain't gonna say he didn't okay it, but
you mean
she
Hillary?
was put on the ground.
You said mainly Nancy. You mean Hillary?
I'm sorry, yeah, Hillary.
Same person, just different body.
Hillary was the feet on the ground. So, I'm just saying.
I don't talk about the Clintonians.
The Clintonians. Arkansas body
You talk
count.
about the Clintonians, you end up in a damn body bag.
Yeah, it's dangerous. Look at this.
Just one more. It's been 3 days now since a Chinese official publicly threatened to murder Speaker Pelosi. Where is the president coming out to respond to, at the very least, say, don't do that?
Well, first, we've talked Kirby was just here talking about how I have not seen those reports, so I'm just going to say
they were going to maybe shoot down her plane, or that it would be within their rights to shoot down her plane.
All right. Well, we have talked about that. We have said that there's no need for this type of saber rattling. It is unnecessary.
And just one more.
There's no need for this type of saber rattling.
So they were never gonna say nothing.
So you try to use a word that you think nobody knew.
I don't know what the hell that is.
I don't know what it is either, but I clearly understand what she's trying to say. She said there's no reason for us to respond to this nonsense.
Oh, you want her to say the?
I said nonsense.
Exactly.
You know why I said that?
I know why, because she's a immigrant. Paul Pelosi DUI court date set for Wednesday, while Nancy's in Taiwan. So while Nancy Pelosi was in Taiwan, her husband had a court date for DUI. Kind of got blew over in the news. People, if you read the initial story,
that man allowed to get drunk and get in his car.
If you read the initial story, they tell you, well, he was an old man. He had a little drink. He had a little fender bender with somebody.
He had a little whiskey.
Yeah, he had a little whiskey. He had a little fender bender with he went to a vineyard, so it was wine. It's him and his wife.
No, I forgot. They go to what's the place? Napa Valley.
No, it's their winery. They own it. Yeah. So he had a little drink. See, he kind of had a fender bender, right? That ain't what happened. The car is him and the other person's car is totaled. And they said not only was he drunk, he was high as hell.
Oh, he had the top down, hair blowing in the wind with his side chick.
Now, apparently there was a witness who was called a John Doe.
Or a pseudo.
No, it would be a Jane Doe.
Jane Doe, whatever.
But they said John Doe. It said Paul Pelosi allegedly slurred speech, had drug in system, and handed over a police privilege card during DUI bust. So he was in the countryside of California. He's apparently drunk, high. He gets into a total. The cars were totaled. There's a witness there, but they don't name him, and it just kind of goes away.
What did the witness say?
That's the point. They went away. Now I think they finally came out and acknowledged who it was, if I'm not mistaken. But in the initial report, they did not give the name. Plus, the alleged exhibited signs of impairment during the field sobriety test, and officers observed objective signs of symptoms of alcoholic intoxication, according to the documents. He was unsteady on his feet. His speech was slurred, and he had a strong odor of an alcohol beverage emanating from his breath. The other driver,
that was grapes.
The other driver, identified as John Doe, was standing outside the SUV, according to the documents. Both of them declined medical treatment at the scene, but John Doe, on June 2nd, told Napa County prosecutor that he had begun suffering pain in his upper right arm and right shoulder and the neck the day after the crash. He also complained of headaches and also said it was difficult to lift things with his right arm. So the person who was the quote-unquote witness has still not been identified, I guess.
Well, what happened was he was at a venue, and they just gave him some fermented grapes.
No,
and that's what caused, the DUI.
Listen, if they're in the middle of the countryside driving, and there's a witness, they're not telling me somebody that's randomly standing on the side of a damn country road and you get into a car crash.
You're saying that he had somebody
had to be in a car with him.
Or maybe another vehicle.
They wouldn't have called it a witness. They would have said John Doe and the person with him. The fact that they're not talking about the other person as witness means they had to be in a car with him. So who was this person in the car with him? His wife is in Taiwan. People are expecting to get shot out of the damn air.
Well, there's a man that's in the car with him. John Doe.
No, John Doe's the person in the other car.
Oh, okay.
They haven't said what the witness is.
It's his sweet lady.
So your wife is in a damn plane to Taiwan and they threaten to shoot it down.
Or a lady boy. We don't know. Your
wife is in a plane threatening to get shot down and you just out here getting drunk like nothing. Unless you already knew what was going to happen.
He already knew the script. What are you talking about? That man said, my wife just don't go off. I know what she doing before she leave.
U.S. giving Ukraine HIMARS ammo after Russia says it destroyed 100 missiles. Russia came out and said they're destroying 100 of their missiles, and Ukraine, basically, America said they're going to give it back to them, but it's not all that it seems. The U.S. will provide more ammunition for the M142 high-mobility artillery rocket systems, and Ukraine as part of a new $550 million security assistance package to aid in the ongoing war with Russia. Didn't they announce another $200 million the other day? Every 2 weeks.
Sounds like somebody's trying to destroy the country. Give your theory on that.
I'm going to get to that. So, they're just throwing money at them once again every 2 weeks, it seems. They just Give them a new couple $100 million.
They got to give them their paycheck.
Now, there's a theory out here that those rockets were not destroyed. Those 100 missiles, I mean.
What are they doing?
That those missiles ended up on the black market.
Oh.
Being sold.
Who put them on the black market?
It would have to be Zelensky. That this is all allegedly. So they just, we know that all this money is about not being used in a damn war. So where is this money going?
It's funding Big Israel.
Building infrastructure?
Yes. It's funding Big Israel.
So while they keep showing us the pictures and the videos of the destruction,
they're not showing
us stuff getting built and stuff.
They're leaving that behind. I'm sure Russia knows.
Oh, they already know, yeah. They've been saying it. That's why Russia's saying we're going to take Western Ukraine. And they said, was it Poland? That Israel may try to give Eastern. I'm sorry. Russia said they're going to take Eastern Ukraine. And they theorized that Ukraine is going to give Western Ukraine to Poland so that if Russia tries to take it, Poland is a part of the, what do they call it?
Poland's part of what?
The military wing with European Union with American stuff. NATO.
NATO?
Poland being part of NATO, if Russia attacks Western Ukraine and Poland is in control of it, that'll be an attack on NATO.
Mm.
So now you got the new big Israel. But yeah, let me go. At the same time as this, Graham Blumenthal called to designate Russia state sponsor of terrorism. Putin is sitting on top of a state terrorist apparatus. If America declares Russia a state-sponsored country, that means they won't be recognized to have any rights or sovereignty, which means it's pretty much a declaration of war against them.
Pretty much.
That means if you capture any Russians, you don't have to prosecute them in the law. You can flat out, they're terrorists. They have no rights. Now, a lot of American people immediately said, don't do this. This is not good. Do not make this a thing. It could be very detrimental to the globe, actually. So Russia even ended up coming back and said that, well, since you're going to try to designate us as terrorists, Russia High Court labels Ukraine's Azov Regiment terrorist group. So remember when Russia captured all those soldiers in Eastern Ukraine?
And they had them on trial.
And they had them on trial. Now they don't have to go to a trial no more because then they labeled them terrorists. They can flat out execute them on the spot now.
Hmm. Is that a swastika on
Yes. They're clearly Nazis. That's why him labeling them as terrorists is pretty correct. We showed the video of those people over there telling you what their ideology is.
That's a damn swastika on the casket.
Let me see this right here. Air Force hosts drag show at Langley with your money. The Air Force hosted a drag show. What's going on, man? Well, this ain't my military.
They sashaying, having Vogue shows.
No, we showed them they had sensitivity training to transgenderism.
Did RuPaul plan the event?
This is getting so now they just flat out hosting. Now they're not. This is not anything about accepting fellow military members, as they try to say before, as being part of that community. Now it's flat out just having a party.
Well, the Air Force, they get to also dress up in drag. A lot of them, they haven't been able to do it because, now they get to do it.
What's stopping them before?
Well, they didn't have the clothes and stuff. Now they supplying them with the costumes to do it in a big way.
All right, nigga. This is all about destroying this country's economy. We talked about it before. We asked, why is Biden doing things that he's doing with the gas and all that other stuff, oil? Why is he selling off all the reserves? Remember, the dollar fell down to the euro. It's now equal to the euro. I got it mixed up last time when I said pound. That was a mistake. The dollar is equal with the euro. Remember, in order to have a one world government, you need everything to be equal. And you can't get every other country to come up to the
standard
of America or the Western world. You have to bring America down to meet those countries coming up. The same way in Europe right now, because they're having these shortages with gas, they've already told them, look, any country that needs help, we're going to take gas from other countries and give it to others, no matter what. So if your country did what they're supposed to do, which is store gas, do good business with Russia, they're going to be punished now. They're going to siphon gas from you to give it to other countries who weren't as responsible.
Mm.
But, you know, they ain't going to do with us. All right, this is the...
Are you there, George? Are you there?
George done dipped out. All right, this is the last segment here. We're going to go through this pretty quick. Hold on. What the? Biden signs executive order aimed at helping women travel for abortion. Now, what Biden is doing here is he's going to use Medicaid to pay for women's travel to another country to receive
Another state?
Yeah, another state to receive an abortion. And this is causing an uproar because that's not supposed to be legal. Let me show this. Hold on. This thing need to load. All right.
Look, I mean, just to, it's really important what this is going to do. It's going to help, in particular, low-income women, right? If you think about it, it paves the way for Medicaid to pay for abortions for women having to travel out of state. Secretary Becerra will invite states to apply for Medicaid waivers to allow them to provide reproductive health care to women who live in states where abortions are banned. Those he judged to be the strongest and most effective on both legal and policy grounds. That's what the president is doing. He's reviewing the options that he has. Look.
You do basically your tax dollars are going to be used for this. But if you're a person who don't support this, you're going to be forced to go against what you believe, which is not supposed to be allowed. I thought that was a personal decision.
How will you be able to pay to help women pay to cross the state line to get somewhere else where they need to go, given the restrictions of the Hyde Amendment?
So that is something that HHS will come up with the details on that.
But you're about to sign an EO. Have they not figured that out?
Well, we're going to leave it to HHS to come up with the details on the specifics on how they're going to work with states if a state asks for a waiver and what that's going to look like. So this is going to be in their purview. They're going to come up with the specifics, again, with the details on how this is going to work.
How will you...
Still trying to do it. Let me just show this last one.
He follows the law here.
Let's clear it up just one final time.
Yeah.
So on the going back to the first question, on the Medicaid, on the proposal to have Medicaid fund travel expenses for women seeking abortion, how would that not violate Hyde if it's using taxpayer dollars to pay for abortions?
This EO will not violate the Hyde Amendment. It is law, and we follow the law here.
Was that supposed to be a shot at Trump?
Exactly. They always throwing shots at Trump. The man been gone for 2 years, and y'all still talking about Trump. Get over it.
Voters in Kansas decided to keep abortion legal in the state, rejecting amendment. So Kansas decided to keep abortion illegal in the
Judgment
state.
will be on that state.
Which is kind of surprising to see how that is a conservative state, but it does have a
college,
large liberal group,
younger
audience, college cities and stuff. So
and they're gonna need somewhere for them babies to go.
One and done. Some Democrats say Biden should not seek second term.
He's not.
We've been talking about this for the last month.
Biden is not gonna run again.
He's not. It's kind of obvious he's not gonna run again. Speaking of Biden, as I said earlier, he tested positive for the 5th straight day after rebound COVID infection. That was
just recently. I think I saw an article where he's
tested
still positive again.
This is the 3rd of this month, so 3 days later, he's still testing positive.
At this point, we have to ask, what are they doing with Biden right now?
Oh, we can get to it.
Is the COVID positive thing actually a deflection from something else that's going on with him, and they're saying COVID?
New poll: Democrats say Biden and members of Congress lean towards Israel more than they do.
Every administration leads towards Israel.
Israel.
Except for Obama, right?
Well, no, the narrative is that Democrats don't support Israel as much as the Republicans.
The president.
Okay. Remember, the Republicans are tied into the Zionist Christians, but the Democrats supposedly are supposed to support Palestinians, even though they don't do shit for them either.
Biden run again in 2024?
Yes.
Mr. Nadler.
Too early to say. It doesn't serve the purpose of the Democratic Party to deal with that until after the midterms.
Ms. Maloney.
I don't believe he's running for re-election.
Listen, the white woman kept it real.
She know he not running. They all know he not running. It makes no sense for the party for him to run.
The Arab dude, he had to say yes because...
Yeah, he's an outsider, so he can't burn the bridge. Too many bridges.
Were you able to get
Let me show this last one.
a sense of the president's reaction to Senator Manchin yesterday repeatedly refusing to get behind an endorsement for a re-election? And does the president, if he did get a reaction to that, feel like members of his own party are undermining him on that front?
I saw those interviews. I wouldn't say he was undermined. From what it looked like to me, Senator Manchin is very much focused. He went on the shows to focus on the Inflation Reduction Act. He was zeroed in on that and laid out why this is going to be a benefit for middle class families and why it's going to lower costs and why it is an investment, a historic investment in that we have not seen in a long time, whether it's climate change or just in general as we try to reduce inflation and fight that back and figure out how do we continue to lower the deficit.
And so repeatedly asked whether he would support President Biden in a 2024 re-election, and he repeatedly refused to go there.
So here's what I'll say about this. And we from the podium, I really cannot dive into any election, but I've been really clear, and the president's been asked this question many times, and he intends to run in 2024. He plans to run in 2024. That is way off. Like we are a long ways away from 2024. And here's the thing: our biggest thing right now is to not be distracted. You saw CHIPS pass last week, which is going to be a huge investment in manufacturing and really strengthening the supply chain. We were just talking about national security, so strengthen our national security, huge deal. And now we still have a few things ahead of us that's going to be really important to get that done for the American people. So
she basically said a lot of nothing.
She's just not good. She stumbles a lot of her words. I will say, what was the white woman?
Psaki did the same damn thing. I'll
She
get
was a
back to
little
you
better.
on that. I'll get back to you on that. They did the
She
same
didn't
thing.
stumble though.
She did stumble.
Not as much as she do.
She used to do the same thing.
She's not good at it.
She ain't either. Trump beats Biden, Harris in hypothetical 2024 matchup. Let me ask you a question.
You don't got to tell me that.
Is it possible? Because when Nancy Pelosi went over to Taiwan, she walked away from the situation looking very strong. Some would say
she's gonna try to run for president. She can't.
Just
She's
wait,
82 years old.
Wait. Some would say she looked presidential. Is it possible? We don't came up with these theories for 2 years. That Nancy Pelosi could become vice president, and Kamala Harris, since you're talking about Biden testing positive all these times, and Kamala Harris becomes president by the end of the year.
Oh well, what's the difference? What we dealing with? We already dealing with
she might be worse.
Dementia patient,
disabled,
and hoe, and then a drunk. So it's just gonna be a hoe and a drunk running the country. So we're just as in the same boat as we is with the dementia patient running country.
That's how they want to play it. But this one right here, Thinidar.
I don't even. What is this? He look like Jordan Peele.
He's Indian. Thinidar win to leave Detroit without black representation in Congress for the first time since the 1950s. But then that would mean the black people voted for him, right?
So we can't get mad about for the first time there's no black representation when black people voted for him.
Or maybe they didn't go out and vote.
They
might have
voted.
said none of these candidates.
Black women did not miss the. No, they voted.
But state representative. Go ahead.
Let's be clear. Most of these places where black people are representation of the damn city is terrible.
Oh, here we go.
They say, what do we? They were like, what the fuck do we have to lose? The black people said, what do we got to lose? Look at Detroit. They were like, what do we got to lose?
Is that the fault of the local government or because they lost the industry, Ford and all that stuff? All those, their economy was built off, industry was built off of those factories.
The Motor
City.
So why hasn't anybody came up with something else to get the economy? I mean, look at the housing.
Wait, you just saw what they did with Mason, Tennessee. A factory is going to be built nearby, and what they do? Immediately try to take over the local government.
But the black people fought back.
What would they give up?
Oh, you really gonna throw our people under the bus? Like we saw
the article when they said that they had to, they were there to negotiate better terms, and you go, that means you capitulated something.
Shame on you.
So what they give up?
Shame on you.
The 13th conditioner Gurthindar was leading with 28%, followed by State Senator Adam Hollier with 24%, and Focus, Hope CEO and attorney Portia Robertson with 17%, with 99% of votes counted. The Associated Press called the race shortly before 11 a.m. John Collier is the third son of the late U.S. Representative John Collier Jr. Followed it. We don't need all this. Basically, the black city ain't going to have no black representation. They're going to have an Indian man as their representation.
Who looked like Jordan Peele when Jordan Peele was straightening his hair on
the show.
Jordan Peele.
Key and Peele, yeah.
Yeah.
Ex-Trump White House lawyer says Congress should disqualify Trump. Ty Cobbs, who was the former President Donald Trump's attorney in the White House, believes that Trump won't be able to argue willful blindness to defend his actions on the January 6th, and that Congress has enough evidence to disqualify him from ever holding office.
Man, shut up.
That's all it's about. They don't even
Man,
want him to
shut
run.
up. Y'all don't got no evidence. Y'all been at this shit for how long? 2 years.
2 years.
And you still ain't got shit on Trumpy.
Trumpy.
The man is running again. Get over it. Just tired of these bullshit stories.
Just beat him again.
Tired of hearing about January 6th. Oh, you mean?
Trump still holds sway in GOP as MAGA candidates win in key primary races.
Every person he's backed.
Not every.
Just about.
He's lost a few, but majority of the people that he's
and the few he's lost, it wasn't by much.
Yeah, it was slight.
It was a slight victory.
Well, obviously in certain cities.
That's very liberal.
Yeah. But one person that did win, Trump-backed John Gibbs beats Peter Meyer in GOP primary for West Michigan District. That's a dude who...
I thought you said Johnny Gibbs.
His name John Gibbs.
Like, my.
Meyer, these are the people that own the Meyer grocery store. So he beat him. This is him right here. Now he has to try to win.
I know he wears glasses. I see the glasses.
What's wrong with him wearing glasses?
Every black man who is a conservative wears glasses.
Larry Elder don't.
When he reads,
Brendan Tatum don't.
Yeah, Brendan
Tatum do wear glasses. He do wear glasses now, which is funny. He literally he wear glasses sometimes. Trump made 42 endorsements in recent primaries. Here's who won and who's still waiting on. So they went down the list and showed the people who won.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There's more too. The little ones you can't.
Yeah, Tudor Dixon. That was a big win for them, for the Republicans. Basically, what we're showing this for. This is the Christina Caramo.
Don't want to talk about sacrifices.
Yeah, John Gibbs. What I'm showing is Trump still got backing.
There's a lot of.
Yes, a lot of people.
Like Trump I'm sure it's about 30.
Trump still has a backing in the GOP amongst the base. He's still running that party. They don't have to just go against him. But is it possible he don't run
and let DeSantis run?
What if this happened? You know that the vote for House Speaker is coming. Is it possible? We said Nancy Pelosi could become vice president. Do you think that GOP after the midterms, when they win the election, more than likely, what they call it, red, what do they call it? The red movement happens and a whole bunch of Republicans win. Is it possible that Donald Trump can become House Speaker?
Maybe.
Would the Republicans vote Donald Trump in as House Speaker? You can do that. You don't have to hold office to be voted as House Speaker.
Maybe so. You be seeing more of them though.
More who?
Trump if he was House Speaker.
That's the point. He had more control over the House. He would determine what bills come to the president.
Maybe.
That'd be crazy. Just throwing something
Trump
out there.
said, I think I'm gonna run for president.
Remember in House of Cards, he decided he didn't want to be president because he said that wasn't the real power.
She get paid to
Hold on. She get paid just to lie and talk. Oh yeah, that's all the what do they call it? Secretary, press secretary.
Yep.
Which is funny because Sanders won that job bad. What was her first name? Sanders. Simone
the
Sanders.
linebacker, silverback.
She wanted that job bad.
Yep.
And he just she was with CNN Plus, wasn't she?
Mm-hmm.
And now she ain't got a show no more. Was it MSNBC?
No, she wasn't with CNN Plus.
She was MSNBC, right?
Yeah. She was on the network. She wasn't on the Plus. It was that dude, the Republican dude, who left Fox News.
Oh yeah, went to CNN Plus, and then they went
but he still got his contract money.
Yeah, he got his money, so
man, it's not gonna be on TV, but I still got my money.
They said, fuck all that bullshit. Anyway,
I forgot to say this. Mexican music is trash.
What the? How we get?
Because I forgot to say it. I don't know how I forgot to say it. Their music sounds terrible. It's the same shit over and over and over. They play all their music sound the same. It's trash. I was on the thing and I heard somebody blasting it loud the other day. I said, God, this music is trash. Please turn this shit off. It's the same thing.
This went way over time. I'm sorry. So 3
well,
hours.
if you're doing any house cleaning or
you got all the way through
working some overtime at work.
Yeah.
You got a wild listen today. Because I'm like, damn, I think we're going to go for the 4 hours today.
Yeah, I'm my bad. I got to start cutting this up. We ain't got to talk about as much stuff in the future.
But it was very enjoyable. I enjoy interacting with each one of y'all, whether you stayed to the end or not.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you for dropping by.
Appreciate the support. Definitely do. Gotta think of your final words for today.
Thanks for supporting the channel.
You just said that.
That's my final words. And his Mexican music ain't shit. It sound horrible.
Why you hating on other people's culture?
What culture?
All right, man. Anyway, man.
La Bamba.
Please like, comment,
That's
subscribe.
their biggest hit.
Please like, comment, subscribe, and share it. Appreciate y'all for staying to the end. If you made it, really appreciate it. Hope everything is good with y'all. Be safe. All praise to the Most High. And peace, man.
Oh,